Just waiting for all streams to get online here. All right. Thank you for joining, everybody. We are here on the ground in Ottawa. Well, obviously, I'm here in the studio where we are about to provide coverage of the coronation of the next Prime Minister of Canada and soon-to-be anointed Liberal leader, Mark Carney. It's a disaster that this guy, it's a pretense to a coronation, folks. Anyone who could have beat this guy has already been kicked out of the race. We have reporters on the ground at the Rogers Centre in Ottawa. They're not allowed in, of course. They've already met with a couple of MPs, so stuff is off to a good start. I've got Chris Dacey standing by, and he's going to brief us on what's going on, and we're going to bring you coverage of this event as it unfolds here today. So thank you very much for joining. We'll get right away to Chris Dacey, who is on the street as I'm speaking to you now. Mr. Chris Dacey, tell me, what's going on over there?
Hey, Casey here. Yeah, I'm outside the Rogers Centre here. You can see behind me, not too many people. So this is the fenced area here. There's been people slowly filing in since about 4 o'clock or so. I've seen maybe 8 MPs come through. Seems like a lot of people are sneaking through the tunnel though, up overhead to avoid. Well, it was me and the only other media that was out here was Alexa Lavoie of Rebel News. So there was 2 of us out here, but the MPs were running the gauntlet. A couple of them, most of them snuck in. It's actually interesting. You were here with me when we were at the same place for the Pierre Poilievre event, and it was jammed. Like the whole building was full. There was people lined up down the street. Completely different here today. Very, very few people. There's no one outside. There's been no lineup, no crowd at all, and very little excitement. So not really the atmosphere I would think. You would think you're choosing a new prime minister. The Liberal Party would be a little more animated, but they don't seem to be here now.
Oh, geez. Yeah, you would think that there would be a little bit more excitement for this guy, but it's a pretense, right? Like this is not an election. Mark Carney himself has said many times that this is a selection for Liberal leadership, and that couldn't be any more clear. This is not an election, it's a selection. Anyone who could have beat him was kicked out to protect his ascension to the throne. And now, like you said, the MPs are not willing to engage with people. They haven't been doing their job, I think that's fair to say, at all. And this is where we are as a country. This is what we're stuck with. It's sick. Like, is there anyone at all who has spoken to you?
No, actually, there was one person that came out and spoke to me maybe for a few seconds, was kind of polite leaving, but nobody has really engaged at all. And honestly, there's been it's hard to count, but maybe a couple of hundred people come through. It's not a lot of people, and a handful of MPs. I think maybe 5 or 6 MPs that I noticed. So it's way quieter than I thought.
Well, Chris, actually, we're just watching CPAC right now, and it's showing Chrystia Freeland. Let's tune into that real quick and see what's happening with it. What is this? Bizarre.
Good evening. Bonsoir.
Oh, man.
I want to start by thanking the amazing people who have volunteered on my campaign and donated to my campaign. Merci beaucoup. Je vous apprécie.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for all your help.
Thanks for donating to my doomed campaign.
Je sais.
And I know that we all want to thank the Prime Minister Justin Trudeau this evening as well.
There is a remarkable wave of patriotism across our country. Canadians are ready to stand for Canada. Canadians are ready to fight for Canada. And I know all of us have one message for Donald Trump tonight.
Oh, of course, it's all about Trump.
Canada will never be the 51st state.
It's crazy how they hook themselves to these issues and propel themselves to the brainless. It's really, really something. It's really something. This is the coronation of a guy.
We say ça.
across the country, Canadians are ready to fight for Canada. We're ready to defend Canada. And Canada will never become the 51st U.S. state.
Just in
I guess that's all they
December,
have, right? They can't talk
people
about their
were
policy. They
writing
can't
off
talk about what they plan to
Liberal
do.
Party.
No, it's all
But
Trump bad.
tonight, we
Yeah,
all
and then
know
calling Pierre.
that we can,
This
we must, and we will defeat Pierre Poilievre and his maple syrup mega.
will defeat Pierre Poilievre and his maple syrup mega. What a bunch of losers. They have no policies, no positions. The reason the country is the way it is because of these people. And they attach themselves to something like Trump and make everyone forget the fact that we're an economic nation.
We are going to win.
The Liberal Party is the party that has always fought for Canada. And together, we will win. Vive le Canada!
Oh, this is like cringe right to the
This
heart.
false patriotism makes me sick to my stomach.
Oh, it's so fake. Like a month ago, Canada was a genocidal state. That, the flag was a genocidal flag. Burned down the statues of John A.
They don't do the land acknowledgements anymore either, eh?
Oh yeah, really?
Doesn't seem so. They stopped doing them now.
Okay, now so that was the pump up person. That was
Yeah.
getting the crowd excited for what's my goodness. Oh, Karina Golds. She comes on and she's like, oh wait, she's like, Trump bad. It's like that Family Guy thing when Lois was running for mayor. Oh, here's Karina Gold.
MAGA.
Yeah, she's like 9/11 bad, and this time it's Trump, and the crowd's like, and then she's like bad, and the crowd's like, oh! Here's Karina Gold, another throwaway candidate, which is totally awful. What a joke. Oh, here we go. Oh man, this is gross. This is hard to watch, Chris. This is really hard to watch. I didn't expect it to. I should have expected this level of cringe. I should have expected it. I wasn't prepared.
Stupid theater. Did you see Mark Carney walking through signing autographs at his event?
Oh man, dude, he's crashing bingo halls and senior homes. No offense, but the energy is like it's like a funeral.
And having the RCMP ID and boot people out. The RCMP roaming around.
Oh, look at that police officer in the background just staring you down there. Look at that.
Oh.
Look right over your shoulder there. Friend of yours. He's like, don't you come in here. This is for the King of Canada, Mark Carney. He's getting coronated today. Don't you dare interrupt him.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, look at this.
Pretty quick.
Yeah, look at this stuff, man. This is just sickening to watch here. Look at this. Oh. Let's go through all of our different things here. We got this one, too. There she is. Look at her. Thank you for wasting your money, folks. Thank you. Didn't she invite a Nazi to the House of Commons? Wasn't that her? Wasn't that her who invited that Ukrainian?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. That's...
And then they just threw the speaker under the bus. What was his name?
Oh, man, when the speaker was reading that, you could kind of see, like, in real time, as he he's like, fought in World War II, and then he's like halfway through, he's like, oh crap. He just kept rolling with it.
Oh man.
Man.
Hello everyone, thank you for joining. If you're just tuning in now, this is our coverage of the coronation of soon-to-be Prime Minister of Canada and anointed Liberal leader Mark Carney. Chris Dacey right there outside of the Convention Centre in Ottawa, the Rogers Centre, Ottawa, as it's known, which confused CT. Oh, she's speaking.
I want to start by saying thank you to each and every one of you. You participated, you joined the party, you voted, you volunteered, you made donations, and the Liberal Party of Canada is strong because of each and
It's strong because of
one
anti-Trump
you.
nonsense. People are brain dead.
C'est quoi le Parti libéral?
What's the Liberal Party? Well, it's the members, it's the supporters across the country.
Got a lot of background noise there, Chris.
It's a strong party. Our party is always there to defend Canada and to defend Canadians.
I just muted you for a
well.
second there on the stream, but we'll bring you back.
Our party is made of incredible all Canadians who care so deeply about this country. And it is always the Liberal Party of Canada that stands up for Canada and stands up for
No, it's
Canadians.
not. They sold us out. They sold us out. How many Chinese police stations are operating in Canada under the Liberals' watch right now?
This leadership campaign has shown that there are so many Canadians willing to stand strong
who are
for
totally
Canada.
Indoctrinated and need to be told how to feel and think. What? Look at one of my recent X posts for evidence.
And I'm very inspired because of you, the members of our party.
You're back on, Chris, by the way, if you want to
stand up for Canada.
Oh man, this translator is about as interesting as Mark Carney.
And through it all, we have remembered who we are as Liberals.
Because they forgot for a long time.
I am proud to be a Liberal in Canada.
This is such fake enthusiasm. It's just not real.
I'm proud to be a Liberal here in Canada.
And let's remember, we are the party of healthcare. We are the party of the charter.
We should send somebody up to that sky bridge.
We are the party of the Maple Leaf. We are the party of multiculturalism. We are the party of reconciliation.
You're not the party of the Maple Leaf? Yeah.
We are the party that fights climate change.
Healthcare, yeah,
and we
all
are
nonsense.
the party of national child care.
All nonsense.
People are dying in hospital emergency rooms. Wait times are years.
And it's thanks to you, thanks to the members and Liberal supporters that always have the best ideas for Canada.
This country
No, you don't.
dream big for Canada so that Liberal government
Sell it to
can
the lowest
deliver
bidder.
for Canadians.
It's interesting how they get mad about Trump, but they say nothing about China.
Whatever the result, we leave here proud Liberals, proud Canadians,
Your momentum
and united so that we can take the fight to Pierre
They're
Poilievre,
appointing
win the
the
next
Prime
election
Minister,
and
and this
stand
is
up
the
for
most
Canada.
enthusiasm. It's so fake. Listen to it.
It's fake. And they're going to leave here with dwindling momentum because Trump bad isn't enough.
No, and it wears thin very fast on most people, right? Like,
you have to be. That guy kind of looked like Matt Walsh there. Oh yeah, here we go. The anointed, coronated Carney. Oh God.
Liberals, please welcome our final candidate, Mark Carney.
Crashing the senior home. It's bingo hour there. Oh man. Give me a second, guys. Here.
Speaking of Carney, can you take a quick walk there?
Can everyone see everything there? Is it all frozen up for you? I don't know who they are at all. It's really something else. So here's the guy being coronated right now. He's about to be coronated the Prime Minister of Canada. They kicked out everyone who could actually beat him from the race. Ruby Dalla, everyone else, they kicked them out because they were going to beat him. And of the 400,000 people who registered to vote in the Liberal race here, which is a tiny fraction of Canadians deciding our Prime Minister, of those people, more than half, I believe, were disqualified because guess what? They weren't going to vote for Carney. Remember how they were like 400,000 Liberals registered? They were going to vote for Ruby Dalla or anybody else.
Yeah, I think under 150,000 ended up
the 400.
asking votes. Yeah.
Who's ready?
This guy's got the enthusiasm and stage presence of a carpet.
Who's ready to stand up for Canada?
You're not. You don't stand up for Canada. You're bought and paid. Like the whole party's bought and paid for. You're a self-admitted globalist. WEF.
To help the Liberal Party win the most important election of our lives.
You're not going to win.
We have to do this.
You're not going to.
Christian's ready.
No.
Frank's
From
ready.
here on out,
Arena's
it's just
ready.
down. They're ready. They're ready. I'm coronated for the Liberal selection. He says it all the time. It's a selection, not an election.
We have to win this election.
You're not going to.
The big election. And we will stand shoulder to shoulder together to do it. Because the stakes have never been higher.
That's for sure. You guys have ruined the country. You as advising Trudeau.
You have just heard from my colleagues what we stand for as the Liberal Party. The Charter, healthcare, childcare, opportunity. We have made
a lot of background
this
noise there,
the
Chris.
greatest country in the world. And now our neighbors want to take us.
For now.
No way. No way.
Now they want to take us. See, he loves that anti-Trump sentiment. He rides it like an idiot. He's like, yes,
this
lemmings. Boo.
Has
Boo,
more than
lemmings.
quadrupled its membership in the past 2 months. More than 300,000 members.
They were all disqualified. Tall the truth.
Old liberals.
They all
and my definition of old has changed, but old liberals coming back. Members who've never been part of the party before.
They signed up to vote for Ruby
United
not
with
for
one
you.
purpose.
Yeah, to vote against you.
Which is to make Canada even greater.
So now they're make Canada great. Make Canada even greater instead of make Canada great again. What a joker. What a joke party.
Whatever
who
the
write
result
this?
tonight,
I thought we're not allowed to use slogans.
I'll be proud to stand shoulder
bad.
to shoulder with my colleague candidat, working with you, with Liberal volunteers across this country in service of Canadians.
No, you're not. You're not working in service of yourself.
Vive le Canada.
You're working. He's got the charisma of a wet blanket, of a carpet, of a branch.
Amis libéraux,
branch has more movement than he does.
Pour nos 4 candidats à la chefferie.
Oh, this is hard.
Veuillez accueillir Claudette Commanda, qui prononcera la déclaration de reconnaissance territoriale. Liberals, make some noise for our 4 leadership candidates.
They couldn't even fill the room.
Did they just say something? What did they say?
Please welcome Claudette Commanda to deliver the land acknowledgement.
Yeah, there you go.
I heard that. I heard it. I heard it in French. I was pretty sure.
Yeah, we love Canada, but this isn't Canada. It's not real. It's the same.
Yeah, we love the country.
Canada.
We love Canada and all its stolen land, guys.
Well, their patriotism's so fake.
Party of Canada.
Fake.
There's no logical consistency.
Are we excited?
No.
Are we happy? And we should be. Kani Michkijigun Kinun the Nishinakos Kitagan Zibi Donjaban. Quait Kakina Nichkiwe.
This is irrelevant.
Mono Sir Claudette.
I'm Claudette Commanda. I'm an Algonquin woman from the Kipikan Zibi First Nation. And I'm ready to be here with you and very happy to be here this evening.
My English name is Claudette Commanda, and I am from the Kitagan Zibi Algonquin First Nation, and I'm very honored to be here with each and every one of you. I know there are many that I can't see, and you cannot see me. But that's okay. What's important is that you hear me, we hear one another, and we're here together as brothers and sisters in this beautiful land called Canada.
It's beautiful, but it's stolen, apparently. Leah Jacobson on YouTube says 151,899 is all who voted, so Carney's full of fluff. Can't even say it's 151,000. Everyone else wanted to vote for Ruby Dalla.
Community members, citizens of Canada, and to the candidates.
The nearly dead. Oh my goodness. Norm Nicholson.
Welcome to this beautiful traditional homeland of the Algonquin and Anishinaabe people. Welcome.
My family's been here for hundreds of years too.
Bijajig, Oma. Bienvenue ici.
I'm tired of this. I'm tired
the
of
land of the
perpetual victims. I'm tired of it. I'm just tired of it.
Since time immemorial, the land of our
We're all
people
Canadians. A
today and
Canadian
tomorrow.
is a Canadian is a Canadian, right?
I respect
That's what it is.
and honor the first and original ancestors of this land, the Anishinaabe ancestors, whom I come from and whom I'm
A Canadian
very
is a
proud of.
Canadian is a Canadian, right? So, like, why are we making tiers of Canadians here? Right? I thought we weren't supposed to do that, right, Chris? Weren't we not supposed to make tiers of
And
Canadians?
as I acknowledge my ancestors, I acknowledge the ancestors of First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people.
What about all of our ancestors here in Canada? Like, they all worked the land, they all worked hard, they all built this country.
No
like, what about
where
them?
we come from.
Like, this doesn't make sense.
No matter our political stripes.
And where does that stop?
No
Exactly.
matter
like,
our
okay,
title.
so then we go England, Ireland, Scotland.
Each and every one of you.
Like,
I honor and acknowledge your ancestors.
Thank you.
Because we are all together. All together.
That's actually the first time I've ever heard that at one of these things. So if we're all acknowledged, then let's just wipe this. Let's just wipe this away then.
And
that's true.
As we embark on a new journey starting today,
if everyone's the same,
principles of yesterday,
then let's not do these anymore.
With love and kindness and respect for one another, and learning from the wisdom of past leaders, elders, and community members, this journey will be one that will be filled with love and respect and kindness.
It's filled with love. Have you seen the venom of these posts? Like, I'm going to bring some up here for later.
And my blessing
for you,
I've seen a lot of venom lately,
is one of
a
love.
lot of people on there are like, Trudeau loves Canada. No, he doesn't. They're like, every day he loved Canada. It's like, first of all, they have like a Stockholm syndrome, like an unhealthy attachment to this guy. It's really strange what's happening with them. It's not normal.
Well, it's a cult of personality, right? Like,
yeah, right.
It isn't normal.
No, it's not at all. Not normal at all.
They're trying to do that with Carney as well, right?
Kindness and respect for one another as peers.
And politics has become a complete show, right? Like, there's no substance. It's all a big theatrical show.
The spirit and intent of community, because that's who you need to be, and that's who we are. Community. Community. Let us embrace the spirit of love.
A lot of protesters over there, guys. You gotta watch out.
And to one another.
Just gonna turn that down for a little bit there.
And that love is so much needed today, because we see what's going on out there. And let no one break love.
It's not love that we need, it's leadership.
Belongs to them. For love
we need leadership, not blind emotions. We need leadership, which we don't have in Canada. And Carney advised Trudeau for 5 years, bringing our economy into the ground.
Closing words. Love is the strength of the land.
Fuck this love stuff. Like, stop. We need leadership. We don't need feelings.
Love is the courage of the heart.
We need leadership.
Love is the guidance of
They keep saying vote for change, right? These guys that have been in power, like, change would be not you people.
All our children.
Liberals.
It's leadership we need, not blind emotions. That's what got us into this mess. That's what caused the COVID hysteria. That's what caused the division. It was blind emotion that caused that. We need leadership.
We will walk together. We will work together. And
leadership.
This country will remain the country that it is for all our children today.
It's in the shitter. It's gone down the drain. We need a positive change. We need leadership, not emotions. Stop with this love nonsense, because it's fake. It's fake. And these emotions are what caused the COVID hysteria. It's what caused the division in our society. It's what caused all of this. It's not okay. It's time for a change. Yes, it is time for a change. Carney's not a change. He's more of the exact same, right?
And it's coming from some of the most hateful people, right? They're talking about love and acceptance and all these things, man. Trudeau was one of the most divisive leaders in history. He's continuously pitting people against each other.
Yeah. Lost you for a second there, Chris. He is the most divisive leader in history. Do you recall that? Do you recall? Oh, don't think you could get beside somebody if you're unvaccinated. You could get on a plane or a train. That was the leader of our country, ripping apart our country as people were suffering and losing everything. That's not love. That's hatred. That's division. And then people attach themselves to this guy and let all of their venom flow through him. They don't love him. They love the way that he attacks the people they hate, that he weaponizes the government to politicize the government and attack the people that he hates. That's what they love. They're not loving at all. They're not loving at all. Their love I don't need. I don't want that kind of love. Oh, man, it's brutal. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Oh, we've got somebody singing. Oh, surprised they're singing in French.
God keep our land.
I love this part.
Glorious and free. Oh, Oh, Canada, we stand on guard. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
I'm glad we tuned in before, after the part with the bastardized lyrics there.
Oh, no.
I'm glad that we missed that part, to be honest.
It was pretty cringe when the woman changed the lyrics at the hockey game there, man. It's not cringy enough what's going on there.
Oh.
Let us rededicate ourselves to the glorious, improbable work in progress that is Canada, and to serve its people through the only party willing to speak to and for all Canadians, the Liberal Party of Canada.
Oh, man. It's current year. It's 2015.
We've beaten cynicism with hard work.
Hard work?
Divisive politics.
Yeah, you are divisive politics. You are the division. We've never been more divided as a country, and that's under your leadership. You liar.
People's lives.
Gaslighter.
We'll continue to do over the next few years.
Oh, man, this is too much sometimes.
You're sending us to Ottawa with a clear mandate. Continue to move our country forward.
Jeez Louise,
I heard
guys.
you. You don't want to talk about politics.
Jeez, it's so cringy, guys. It's so cringy.
You want us to focus on the work that we have to do.
Another one?
For you.
3 consecutive Liberal governments. And look, Canada's never been worse off. We've never been off. Like, they're proud of this. Powered by hope. Yes, they are powered by hope because they haven't delivered anything for people. That's all they have is hope and fairy tales and blind emotions. They don't have facts. They don't have leadership. They don't have nothing. They're the party of no substance. Exactly.
Well, and that's the reason they all walk in, right? Like they avoid people and reporters like the plague.
Yeah, because they're scared. They can't answer for the things that they haven't done, and worse, for the few things they have done have been terrible. SNC Lavalin, Aga Khan scandal, We Charity scandal, Green Slush Fund, SD Sustainable Development Technology Canada. It goes on and on and on, and the RCMP has turned a blind eye while Canadians are chased up the tree for the smallest things. Yet the government can do whatever it wants. Even just a few days ago, federal court dismissing the prorogation challenge. Gross as heck. Gross as heck, saying that Trudeau can keep Parliament suspended as long as he wants. Then you have people like Charlie Angus going around and telling Johnny Rowe to get a job. And meanwhile, they haven't done their job in months. And when they are in there, they aren't doing anything anyways, except passing censorship bills like C11, C18, C63. It doesn't end.
Yeah, and lying and slandering.
Liberals pay tribute to dear leader Justin Trudeau. They're gonna have a dance number. They're gonna come out with matching military-esque uniforms. You know, they're gonna say there's no cat. You can't sail the sea without the helmsman. They're gonna break out those CCP songs.
I've come here to talk to you about your prime minister, your leader, but to me, it's just Dad.
No, I'm sorry. I don't want to watch this. I don't want to watch them talk like to politicize his daughter and to bring her out like that for this. I'm not going to participate.
Is that who it was?
Yeah, that's his daughter. They're bringing her out as a prop. We're not doing that. So, Chris, tell me what the situation is around there. What do you see on the ground right now? Give us a quick pan of the camera.
Yeah, I see it here. You can see exactly.
Sorry, guys. I don't want to engage in the politicization of Justin Trudeau's children. I'm heavily against political dynasties, and I don't want to hear from her. So we'll tune back in at some point in the future.
You can see exactly what I can see here. Very quiet out here.
Sure, Chris, walk around. Give us a quick tour.
A number of people outside too. So some of the Wellington Street regulars are down here. Crowd's thinned out now, but you got John Rowe back there. Rich has a new flag, so the Carney flags have already started making an appearance.
Oh, show me that. Show us that.
Rich has a duck. We designed this for Rich here.
All right.
It's a duck. Carney. Yeah, here we go, Rich. I'll just.
Yeah, guys, we're gonna tune right back in, guys, in just a minute to the.
So we see the duck Carney flag. It means you duck. Duck the Carney. This is the family version flag. So peace, unity, light, and together worldwide.
Where is the? Oh yeah, I can see the flag there. There it is. Yeah. Yeah. There. Where's the duck?
Yeah.
Oh,
So what's the? Oh, hold on. There's Mark Carney. Okay, we're still. It's his daughter's. Guys, his daughter's still speaking, and I just don't want to engage in this political prop that they've brought out here to do this. It's manipulation. It's not good, and I don't want to hear it. I don't think it's fair to do that in multiple ways, because you can't criticize her because it's the Prime Minister's daughter. Yet at the same time, they're going to trot her out, say, "Oh, my dad's the greatest Prime Minister that ever lived." It's just, no, we're not doing that.
Is his son going to come out and do a rap after?
Maybe they're going to finish. We're going to finish. They're going to finish with his son. We'll be right back, guys. We'll be right back to the coverage there, but give us just a bit here. Give us just a minute here as we're waiting to pass over with his daughter going on and on. Not appropriate, in my opinion. And again, Chris, it feels to me like this is all feelings, no substance, no plan. It's Trump is bad. We're great. We love you. Don't forget about the fact that we ripped this country apart, that we're more divided than we have ever been. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah. I mean, it's wild how quickly everyone forgets, right? And everyone wants to scream hysteria and freak out about Trump. It's weird, too. Nobody seems to be talking about the fact that Trump delayed the tariffs here, and we left all of our tariffs on. I was still going to try to ask somebody about that here, but there's nobody to ask. It's a completely dead street out here.
There's nobody to ask because they're cowards. They're cowards of the cottage. Yeah. They are the great dividers. And then the thing that gets me is that they lie about and pretend that they're the party of love and tolerance when it's their foot soldiers on the ground who are going around. They never talk about the people that you caught on camera yesterday, the wannabe ninjas who harangued and harassed you and assaulted you. They never talk about those. It's always the great right-wing boogeyman, and they can never really point to it. There's no example of the thing that happened to you of a group of right-wing people surrounding someone with this and clubbing them and doing whatever else or headbutting them. There's no example of that. Or Nick Alexander getting stabbed above the eye. There's no example. And it's all fake news that the left has, that the liberals have. They don't talk about their own IMVE extremists. And that's the ones who are doing the violence on Canadian streets. But they won't talk about it. They talk about people holding a sign on a street corner, right?
Yeah, they're talking about, Patty with her mobility, little mobility scooter or whatnot. But they bring up the Freedom Convoy, right? When they talk about this massive new amount of money being pumped into Ottawa Police to stand up a parliamentary.
We got Trudeau back here.
That in the most difficult times,
get back to that after.
You inspired me. You gave me courage.
He's gonna cry.
You reminded me that I should focus on what was really important and not what was just urgent. Being Prime Minister of this country has been the honor of my life. But I'm so looking forward to redevoting myself to my most important role, that of father. I'm proud of the three of you, and I love you above all.
Now, sit down. Now, I can imagine that you're all expecting me to stand up and talk about all that we've accomplished together.
Nothing. You've divided the country.
Don't get me wrong, I am damn proud of what we've done over these past 10 years.
Listen,
for the middle class and people
you've ruined it. People can't buy a house because of you and your reckless immigration policies.
It's about our future as a party, as a country. Now, I know that we as liberals,
it's all about the party. Fuck the country. It's about the party.
By our friends for not taking a victory lap after we get something big done.
Like what?
We do something really big.
You do nothing.
And then we move
do
on
nothing
right
but toot your own horn.
That's
garbage. That's not true at all.
As progressives, as liberals, we know there is always more to do. So it is important to take the time to reflect on and share the big successes. But not tonight. Not tonight, because when
tonight's about
gather,
fuck Trump. Tonight's about anti-Trump nonsense.
Just one thing.
That's what tonight's about.
The work that still needs to be done to build a country that stays worthy of all Canadians.
Yeah, except the unvaccinated, except the people who don't like me, except the working class.
Simply put, that's the work of a lifetime for each and every one of us. It's very simple. Liberals are dedicated to making this country even better, not because we think it's broken, but because we have an opportunity and therefore a responsibility to ensure that Canada stays the best country on earth.
Not under your watch, that's for sure. It's gross, man.
Now, these past 10 years have been challenging. Crisis after crisis has been
that you manufacture and exasperate.
But through every crisis,
for political advantage,
Canadians have shown who they are.
Blind sheep to follow you.
We've stood up for each other,
not all of them.
Every single time we've emerged even stronger.
We called the snitch line when somebody had more than 2 people in the hospital room to say goodbye to a loved one.
And now, as Canadians face from our neighbor an existential challenge.
Here we go. Crisis, crisis, crisis. Gotta rally, people. Crisis, rally round the flag.
Showing exactly what we are made of.
Yeah, taking liquor off the store shelves that was paid for.
Yeah.
Canadians are showing what it is that makes us Canadians.
Following orders.
Defining ourselves by who we're not, but by
following
proudly
orders.
Embracing who we are.
Following orders. What is a Canadian, Justin Trudeau? Asking that question.
We're a country that knows that standing up for everyone's fundamental rights is the only way to protect our freedom.
Yeah, everyone's fundamental rights, except the people who don't get vaccinated. They get to not work, not have a business, lose their home. What a liar and gaslighter.
Should be left behind, and that everyone
except if you're unvaccinated.
Have a real and fair shot at success.
Except if you're unvaccinated, then we'll take your business away and throw you in jail if you protest.
We're
what a
country
liar.
That refuses to accept the false choice between a strong economy and a healthy environment.
We have neither of those things under the Liberal Party. It is a false choice. The option is C, none.
And Indigenous peoples
who rips our country and divides our country apart over our differences.
To a shared, prosperous future.
Exasperate our differences. Grievance politics. That's it. Source of power. Make people angry.
We are a country that promotes its culture and protects its heritage. We're a country that breathes life into the French language and is heard across the world.
We breathe life into the French language. That's a big Liberal accomplishment. Yeah, Mark Carney can't even speak French.
That celebrates its diversity and draws strength from its differences.
We're a country that celebrates the right of each.
We love our differences because then we can focus in on them and rip people apart and segregate them and separate them, and it's great for us. It's great. Except if you're Christian, we're going to burn the church down. 100+ churches burned down. I don't care about that. Those people don't matter.
We're a country that will always defend a woman's right to choose.
Which isn't at risk in Canada. It's been codified for a long time. This is an issue that's not on the table. Nobody's actually attacking this issue. The Conservatives have committed many times to not touching this issue. It's like, this is a non-thing. It's just one of those things that get people emotionally upset with no facts or logic.
That will be diplomatic when we can, but fight when we must.
Fight with what?
Elbows up.
Elbows up with what? You mean elbowing people in hockey, doing penalties? That's not how you play. What are you saying, Chris?
Keep your stick on the ice.
Yeah, man. And here's the thing, they have spent years defunding our military and destroying the culture of our military. It is a woke culture. There is no warrior culture in the Canadian Armed Forces. They cannot fight because of his erosion.
You here in this room,
and now he's going to pretend like he's got a great military.
Across the country,
don't have the equipment to fight
know all about fighting with grit, with determination.
Yeah, fighting your neighbor because they don't believe the same thing as you. I did that. I'm proud of that, he says.
With just 35 seats in the House. You remember our ups and downs and all those times that people counted us out, all the times they said our party was on its last breath. like all Canadians,
Canada would have been better off if this party died.
It's when you try to count us out that we Liberals show our true mettle.
Yeah, we find a crisis, we exasperate and focus on it, we divide people on it, and we don't care about the fallout from it. We'll get whatever political capital we can. That's what the Liberals do.
In 2015, 2019, and again in 2021, you mobilized, you knocked on doors. You did it in the rain, in a heat wave, in the freezing cold. You did it in the middle of a pandemic, wearing a mask. You fought for your country, and you changed it for the better.
You changed it for the worst. The country's never been worse off. People cannot afford a house. Young people are locked out because of you.
A logo.
Wages are terrible. Inflation is up. Price of food is crazy. That's your legacy. What a liar. This guy is a liar.
Day in, day out.
And he's a shameless
country
liar.
Is more than a flag and a territory.
It's more than a flag because half the time we hate the flag.
A vision which is built gradually.
It's a vision of hatred, of division.
Between friends
we call
and
it love, but it's really attacking your neighbors.
Like
that's the policy of the Liberal Party of Canada.
Who have been there
call the snitch line.
This vision together. I'm thinking here about my first volunteers 18 years ago, those who have been there since the start. Rennes, Louis-Alexandre, Stavroula, and others, so many others. I'm thinking about the grocery store parking lot in Papineau when we talk to people to rally them to our cause, to our movement.
Also thinking of two friends in particular who've been there with me and for me every step of the way for close to 20 years. The
Gerald Buck,
extraordinary Adam Scotty, and the unstoppable Katie Telford.
Yeah, Katie Telford. Okay, there you go. There you go.
Now, as I look at all of you in this room, no speech could be enough to thank you all as much as I'd like to.
It's just
as much as you should be.
I
can't even offer you a well-deserved break because, once again, we need you. Your
Parliament's been on break for months.
More than ever.
The momentum's all downhill from here.
No doubt that you will answer the call because you've done it before. Liberals will meet this moment.
The momentum's all downhill from here. As soon as Carney's actually appointed the leader and he's in focus, the ambiguous bonus is gone. And like I said, this guy's got the charisma of a paper bag. It's not going to, or carpet or a wet blanket. It's not going to work. It's not going to work.
And make no mistake.
No, man.
This is a nation-defining moment.
Damn right.
Democracy is not a given. Freedom.
Exactly. The court let you suspend it.
Not a given.
At your will.
Even Canada is not a given. None of those
Canada's not a given.
by accident.
Is he going to mention? He's mentioned. The U.S. has been mentioned. Is China going to be mentioned at all? China just re-tariffed, like counter-tariffed us hugely. Did he say anything?
It takes sacrifice. It takes.
Seems kind of quiet.
Hope and hard work.
The last thing, he's got no idea about it. He's never worked in Australia in his life.
60 years ago, standing atop Parliament Hill, Prime Minister Lester B. Pearson first raised our beautiful
they're talking about the flag
into the Canadian
You mean
sky.
the one that you guys were calling a flag of genocide?
At the time, but Pearson knew well what we all know now. That our flag would serve as a unifying symbol that would define the next chapters in our national story. 60 years later, there are still so many more chapters to write. And
this is so cheesy.
The world
it's bad. It is bad writing.
What Canadians will do.
You gotta be pretty brain dead to be in love with this speech, I'll tell you.
So let us not dwell on all the great things we've achieved over the
Which is
past
nothing.
10 years.
Let's not dwell on the
Let
things
us
I can't
aspire
name.
instead to
Let's not
achieve
list the
even
things I
more
haven't done
over the
or the
next
things I
10
have done.
years and the
Unaffordable housing,
decades to
healthcare out
come.
of control, nowhere to live, rent prices through the roof, no access to good education, and classrooms bursting at the seams. Let's not list those things that I've done.
And let us not just think about
Let's
our
talk
party.
let's talk about feelings and things that we can't put a finger on.
Country.
You don't love this country at all. You've ruined it. You've ruined it. You're a goof. You're a loser, Justin. A loser. The biggest loser.
As your leader, as your prime minister.
The one saving grace about today is that we're finally gone of this guy. Like, just
to help build a country
I'll be happy.
that stays worthy of all Canadians.
Right? Exactly.
Done it for Xavier, for Ella Grace and Hadrian. And I've done it for your kids too.
I've done it for your kids too.
You.
Oh man, dude, this guy's like, I've raised your kids for you. Don't worry.
Find me alongside
Remember
you,
when I told them how great the
along.
vaccine felt?
Their future.
It's so
and
great.
Your future
Go get
is
it.
now in your hands. Merci, mes amis. Merci pour tout.
Good riddance. Good riddance. Good riddance. See ya. Sorry, sayonara, sucker. He's crying. Sayonara. You won't be missed. You won't be missed. Goodbye. Goodbye. Bye, Justin. Bye. Bye. There you go. Bye, buddy. He's like, don't let me list all of the many things I haven't done, but let's talk about love of country. Let's talk about love of country that we hated until a month and a half ago. That dirty convoy flag, the maple leaf.
Veuillez accueillir
here's Jean
le
Chrétien.
20e Premier ministre du Canada, Jean Chrétien.
Oh man, dude. More filleting. More
Please
filleting.
welcome the 20th Prime Minister of Canada,
Oh, geez,
Jean
dude.
Chrétien.
Na 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 na. Hey hey hey. Goodbye. This guy's still going. Goodbye, destroyer of Canada. All right, I'm going to turn this. I don't really want to hear Jean Chrétien too much. We'll have him on right here, but let's read a couple of comments here real quick. All right, let's try it one at a time, guys. Talking stick. Chris has it. All right. Nikki Canada says, hey, goodbye. Destiny Davidson says, that vodka right blend? No, it's just water. I wish. I need to be drunk for this stream. It's painful to listen to. It's painful. Yeah, no, I don't drink. Barbie says, bye forever. Leslie says, bye, destroyer of Canada. Robbie LaChance. Robbie, let's go. He didn't give us his signature. He says, bye, Goofy. TS says, useless SOB. Louis on Todd says, big boot. Yeah. Our biggest mistake, he is not gone yet. Is he not gone yet already, says Shelley. Chantel Bergeon says FML. Yeah. Graham, sorry if I'm saying your names wrong. Graham Harris says, never vote Mark Harris. Nikki says he made smokes cheap. The only thing I know of. I don't think, is that true? Megan says, goodbye. Sophie says the comments are censored. Yeah, some of them will be. It's just the auto. Au revoir, manure, says Ron Deneau. Stacey Smith. Oh, man. BG, I can't read some of your comments here. Got to be careful. All right, let's see. Should we listen to Mark Garrett? Does anyone want to listen to this guy, Chrétien? Does anyone want to hear what he's saying? Let's turn him on, I guess. We'll turn him on. Chris, you've been a little bit low there.
In 1958,
when I was in grade 10.
Not many of you were born. And he then became a very good prime minister. I have kept coming to Liberal Convention for 68 years. I have kept coming back to Liberal Convention because of what the Liberal Party stands for.
Which is
I have
ruining.
kept coming back because of what the Liberal Party has delivered to make the lives of Canadians better.
He really believes that.
I am here today because it is the Liberal Party.
He's so rich he doesn't know what it's like for a regular person.
The better lives for Canadians in the days.
When did that
weeks,
happen?
months and years.
Mr. Chrétien, the party has had years to deliver better life for Canadians, and they've only made things more expensive and worse. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, they've had a good 10 years now.
It is the Liberal Party that has given Canadians the Canadian Pension Plan and Medicare. The Charter of Rights and Freedom.
Which you stomp over.
Oh, God,
you don't care about. You throw it away like a joke.
Put the indigenous rights into the Canadian Constitution.
Sounds like Max if you close your eyes as guy on YouTube.
Gun control laws.
Gun control.
Affirmative action.
How will we ever protect ourselves?
Devastating. Nobody cheered for affirmative action.
Women's right to choose.
Yeah, they love the abortion issue, right? Like that's all. That's like in their Venn diagram, their circle. It's always like after they go through the current crisis, they get back to that.
Country in the world is to
yeah, I mean, it reached
same-sex
desperation.
marriage.
Oh my gosh.
The party is the party of diversity, equality, tolerance, openness, and inclusiveness.
Unless you're unvaccinated, then you're dirty and subhuman, and we don't want you near us.
And it is the Liberal Party that gave us the red maple leaf flag. 60 years ago.
Oh man, this is painful.
Which flew so proudly in homes across the country on the 14th of February.
Remember when it was at half-mast for over 6 months?
Patriotism
Wasn't it like years?
And love for
Canada. Yeah, it was almost a year. Yeah.
I want to say a special thank you to former Prime Ministers Joe Clark, Harper, Martin, Campbell, for coming together with me to rally Canadians across the land to show the Canadian flag with pride, with a lot of pride.
We're talking about things from a long time ago here. Talking about ancient history. This is painful to listen to, man. This is just something else.
But tonight, I want to pay tribute to Justin Trudeau. I want to pay tribute to him for taking the Liberal Party from third place to government. And three successive election victories.
They lost the popular vote in both of those.
I want to pay tribute to what he and his
lost
team
2019
have
and 2021 to the Conservatives.
Canadian child benefit to reduce the poverty for the children in Canada. The $10 child care.
The price of housing through the roof. Young people can't buy homes. We're very proud of that one.
To so many women. For the dental plan for low
He's acting like it's the 70s where women are not like equally or more represented in workplaces. It's a joke. He's acting like they just let women in the workplace yesterday. It's not what's happening.
I'll be right back in 1 minute. I just got to get a battery and things.
Let's talk about the economic reality of the moment now. Because Canada has done well. This, I'm telling you, as I've said so many times, Canada is not broken.
Yeah, it is. People can't buy food. People can't buy housing. People can't afford their bills. The price of things are through the roof, and that's how brokenness is measured.
Canada has the lowest deficit per capita in the G7.
Gross data fudging.
More than 5 times lower than in the United States.
Gross. Because the United States, if that pays for everything, pays for our protection, allows us to do whatever we can because we don't have to pay for a military.
And in fact, the payment on the interest of the debt today is only 11% for each dollar of tax we pay. And compared to what we got when we formed the government in 1993, we were obliged to pay 35 cents in every tax dollar.
People could afford to buy
That
houses
was a
back
little
then.
problem the Tories left to me. And we balanced the books. We took that mess from the Tories and we balanced the books. And we had 10 years of surplus. And the Tories came back to power and we went back in debt.
Okay. This guy's
Now
like he's writing an economic fairy
1.9%
tale.
in Canada. It's 3.2 and increasing south of the border.
This is something.
You know,
This is something else.
I spend my life talking about job creation. Now the problem, we're looking for manpower. It's a difficult problem, but it's better than the reverse.
Yeah, this is a lie.
You know,
there's labor excesses. We need more people to work. That's a lie. Look at the trades. The trades were quiet last year. Talk to people in the trades. Trucking's out of control. There's more people with licenses than there are jobs.
With the
This is
municipalities put together the best program on the pandemic that we face, better than any other country in the world.
These are all economic fairy tales, man. They're just rewriting history here. That's what this is. It's gross.
Our debt rate was less than half of the United States. Today,
the United States has to pay for the world's security,
as a party,
including ours.
we're choosing
What
a
a
new
joker.
leader. A leader who will assume the mantle of Laurier and King, Saint Laurent and Pearson, Trudeau's father.
This is painful to listen to. This is painful.
Who has with him a very beautiful daughter.
Of course. Let's go into that. Let's ride that.
I'm old enough to say
it's crazy, man. Like they bring these props out and they're like, feel for us.
And myself. And that is very important. I want to take this moment to say how impressed I am by the quality of the candidates whose names are on the ballot tonight.
Quality of the candidate. It's all fake. It's coronation for Mark Carney.
It makes me very, very proud to be a liberal. Et maintenant, parlons.
And now, let's talk about the elephant in the room.
This is painful, man. This is just something else.
And fruitful.
Please, Chris, inject something into this.
Built
This is
over
just
decades,
this is painful.
Which is falling apart before our eyes, and it's becoming something which is difficult to name.
It's been falling apart for 10 years.
Mutual
You've been
respect.
destroying it.
Trust. Reciprocal cooperation, friendship, which have long
Again, if you're just joining us, guys,
characterized our
we're listening
relationship.
to the long speech of Jean Chrétien as he blazes the Liberal Party here, and the fact is that economically per capita, people in Canada haven't been worse off. Like, they were better off with the Conservatives before 2015. It's terrible. The price of everything is much too high. You just have to talk to somebody in Canada to know what the economic situation is for people who aren't rich, who don't own a home, and they'll tell you what it is. They'll tell you what we're doing. And right now they're playing their Trump card, right? It's all about Trump. It's all about this. Oh, man, I can't.
Without mentioning the rest of the planet. Why? Well, this is something that Canadians don't understand, and I think the majority this is towards our country. This is something we've never seen, but this is something that Canadians don't understand, and I think the majority of Americans don't understand it either.
Well,
Without
most Americans voted
mentioning
for
the rest
Donald
of the
Trump.
planet. Why? Well, why? Historians, journalists, and university researchers and experts at
This is
international
brutal. This guy's an energy vacuum,
politics
man.
are trying
He just
to
sucks
make
the life
sense
right out of the room.
of something that doesn't make sense.
No,
Well,
man.
in Canada, our elbows are up.
Oh, here we go.
Working
Yeah.
together to unite.
Yes, we love doing penalties in hockey. We love it. We love elbowing, which is a
to
penalty.
deal with
We
this
love that.
threat. The threat
We
to
love
our
playing the
economy
game dirty. That's us.
and our sovereignty.
Like, what a joker. What a man.
In other words, our very existence as a country. At the beginning of the week, tariffs became a reality. And there will only be losers if you measure it in financial terms alone. But for Canadians,
yeah, if you measure things in financial terms alone, there will only be losers. That's true of the entire Liberal government.
It's more than money.
Everything that has happened under Trudeau's tenure.
We love our country and our independence.
Well, we love pumping our chest up. Except that 2 months ago we didn't love it so much.
Because we're unique in the world.
We didn't love who we were 2 months ago. We were ripping down the statues of John A. and everybody else.
The Premier for the way they have led Canada in the last few weeks in confronting the menace imposed on us.
Yeah, pull the booze off the shelves and look like a bunch of idiots. Wonderfully done, everyone.
Oh, man. Good job, everybody. Pat yourselves on the back. You're doing great. It doesn't. This is a great thing, guys, because everyone forgets how much money they don't have. Because of this, they can blame Trump.
Absolutely.
So a guy walks by here, just walked by coming out of the thing, and he's going on about Trump too. Just walks out of the building, he's yelling at the people outside here about Trump.
All right, is he there right now?
Yeah.
The governments altogether can consider going further.
Show us this. Show us this clown show.
It really hurts.
All right, clown show outside. Clown show outside the Liberal convention here. Go ahead, Chris. Show us.
One guy just came out. He's heckling the people out here about Trump.
Yeah, of course they are.
To build infrastructure that are needed in Canada. For example,
we'll finally build it
for natural gas.
Build the pipelines that Quebec keeps blocking. It's crazy. Build the pipelines that keep getting blocked. The ones that we drag our feet on. Let's do it. Let's build. One guy cheers for it. This is such revisionist. They have been the roadblock to doing that. What they've had 10 years to build, and now they're going to do it. No, it's time for change. It's time for them to go.
They have a no pipelines law, right? They passed a no more pipelines
in Canada for a long time.
What a joke party. Like, they think people are lemming. They think people are stupid and can't remember longer than a month and a half ago.
They also ignore all the interprovincial trade barriers that we have. Like, it's not just pipelines, man. There's a lot of issues
for 80 years.
For sure.
With a rule-based order that has brought us peace.
Rule-based order.
Prosperity.
Yeah, at the expense of the United States.
The United States to be the strongest, the most powerful country in the world.
Rule-based order.
It has allowed all of us
to
sleep well every night. And now, Donald Trump has decided to throw it all out the window.
Americans democratically elected Trump to upend the globalist rules-based order and to put America first. That was what he ran on. That was what he won the election on, including the popular vote.
To stand together to meet the challenges that Mr. Trump is creating for the whole world.
What a joker. What a joker. Yeah, look at that. You're like,
Trump.
And perhaps speaking of the president, it is time for a little history lesson for him.
It's time for a little history lesson from a guy who was there with the dinosaurs.
That in 1776, Benjamin Franklin spent a year in Montreal trying to convince the people to join the American Revolution. And he was told by the Francophone, non merci.
Oh, no, dude.
And they were right.
Brutal.
Look what happened to the French language in Louisiana. The Loyalists left the USA to come back to Upper Canada and the Atlantic. And the Francophone and Lower Canada, together they built our independent country. During the War of 1812,
We're all supposed to be one, right? We're all supposed to be united. They talk about the land acknowledgement earlier. Now they're talking about separating out French from English, Quebec from the rest.
de celebrated in what is now Quebec, and by leaders like the great indigenous chief Tecumseh in what is now Ontario.
Okay, guys, if you are watching on Facebook, the Facebook stream is now ending. We will be going
and I don't know, apparently some burned the White House at that time.
We burned the White House. There we go. This is a dangerous speech, actually.
But I'm too old to do it.
Yeah, elbows up, burn down the house.
It's a joke.
This is just a joke.
They treat it like a joke, but I mean, these are serious things. It's real serious issues, and they're acting like it's a big friggin' game. And they're not playing it very well either.
John Chrétien doesn't speak for me. I'll tell you that. He doesn't speak for me at all.
We must stand out.
All right, everybody watching on Facebook, I will be sharing a link to this on YouTube. So get on over to the YouTube right now.
We have had problems.
We'll see you on
but
the.
we always found a way to solve them. We have worked.
Yeah, we'll be on YouTube, guys. Get on over there. We'll see you. We'll see you on the YouTube chat, guys. So it's going to be right there. It's easy. You don't have to have an account. You can just click it. We're going over to YouTube. So it's already running the whole thing. I'll see you there.
We are good neighbors and friends, but we are proud and independent country. But sometimes one must stand up for Canada. We must always be vigilant. And I did so as minister and as prime minister. Way back in 1968. This is so painful, man.
This is just so painful.
When the Americans sent a ship, the Manhattan, with no Canadian flag through our Northern Passage, they wanted to prove that the passage was international water. As Minister of Northern Affairs, I flew to Pond Inlet at the northern extremity of Baffinland to confront them.
Just please stop.
I was on the
John Chrétien single-handedly fought all the polar bears. We already know it. He threw a Russian battleship upside down. We already know he did it all. Please
I said
just
I would be there
end
in
this.
an hour.
Oh.
And it's better to have the Canadian flag and the mast. I took...
This is so painful. Oh, I can't handle this.
Riveting speech.
Oh, it's painful.
When I arrived, there was the Canadian flag at the mast. And I had a big smile. You know, we had
so what is he even saying? What is he even talking about?
Like,
you remember
why is he talking for so long?
Newfoundland, the so-called fish war.
The so-called fish war.
When we arrested Este.
Dude, man.
When my friend Tobin made a great show at the UN
Just
with the
stop.
illegal nets.
Just stop, please.
And we were successful. They changed the international laws after that because there was a problem that needed to be fixed.
Brutal.
And I'm quite proud of it, and it
Brutal.
was quite a time.
Brutal.
Yeah. I was traveling in the West. I came back. It was Holy Week.
If you're watching on YouTube,
So it
guys,
was a
drop a
Thursday,
like, share it with
Holy
your
Week.
friends. Let's get it out
So
there.
my wife said,
We got
"We'll have a
on
good
the
rest
scene
for the
reporter Chris
weekend."
Dacey. We are falling
And I
asleep
said,
listening to
"Perhaps
Jean
not, because
Chrétien.
I'm declaring war to
Chrétien
Spain."
glazed the Liberals here after 10 years of economic ruination to
not
Canada. And now, because of how bad the Liberals have done under Trudeau, he's got to bring up stories from 150 years ago. Like, you know, they're from the ancient past. He's got to bring up stories from 30 years ago because of how badly the Liberals have done in their stewardship under Trudeau. So we're talking about things that, you know, most people, many voters weren't even alive for.
Yeah, but they were not respecting our water. So we threatened them to block the passage on Canadian water and force them to go in the high seas.
This is so much.
It was a very difficult problem. The Senator of Alaska said it was almost a question of war. So I discussed that, and I talked with my
What do you think about this,
Clinton,
Chris?
and he said it's
My friend, my friend, Big
said,
Clinton. Did he just say Big
I
Clinton?
will do something.
Are you going to do
And
something?
we
I
were
would do
forced-
something. I would force everyone to go to sleep.
Some were taken to courts, and after that, the problem was solved because we stood for us strongly. But
oh man, dude.
For 8 years, I was a colleague of Bill Clinton, and he would always say that Canada was his best ally, and that I was a very good friend, and we still are.
We're talking about the Clinton presidency.
But
Like, we're
we
back in the
worked
90s
together.
here.
Yeah, I know.
We found a
Stop,
solution
dude.
together.
I mean, that's when he was prime minister,
And
but
it's
stop,
what
dude.
happened in the future too. We
Just
always
stop.
been good neighbors with anybody. So I was proud too when I was prime minister, and I had to say no to the
Drop a like there on the stream if you're
in the
watching on
American
YouTube. It really
invasion of
helps.
Iraq.
Drop a like. This is just painful, man.
When is the actual announcement?
That decision.
This is just a
told the
big
United States
show.
and the world that Canada is a proud, independent country.
Canada is a proud and independent country.
Of course, the business community was very nervous. They were afraid of retaliation.
Please stop.
So I told them, okay, give me the list of all the goods and all the services that the Americans are buying from us because they like us. I've not received the list yet.
Why would anyone do what you ask? Like, you put them to sleep when they're on the
So,
phone. They think you're trying to sing them a
We
lullaby.
will work in collaboration with them. But, you know, they have to understand, and everybody understand that we
No,
are
I'm going to
very
lose my
proud.
earbud here, I think. Batteries are
And
dying.
It's the cost. It's the cost of doing business.
Oh, man.
I can tell
17
you
shopping back to season.
that sometimes
Really
I
just
can
twitching.
say this
Anybody
From one
interesting
old
coming
guy
by there, Chris?
to another old guy.
What's that?
Anyone coming in? Anyone interesting
Stop
walking by?
this nonsense.
No, absolutely nothing going on.
No, nothing interesting. Stop this nonsense. Stop doing what people elected you to do. Oh, man. America has no obligation to provide our security. That's why our military is so weak. One of the big reasons.
Canada will never
Yeah,
join
and
the
I mean,
United
we've
States.
spent years not living up to our obligations to NATO and
I can
NORAD
tell you
probably as well.
that my parents were not millionaires from New York. They were workers from Shawinigan. But my mother taught
It's just
us
literally all
good
about Trump and
manners.
then Clinton from 28.
She would have been ashamed of me if I had treated anyone the way that the president treated my prime minister and the president in Ukraine in the last few weeks.
The president, look at it clap
Oh,
for
there you go.
Ukraine more than
That's
anyone else.
amazing.
Endless war, endless war. I love endless war. No peace, endless war, death of a generation. We love it. We're war hawks. I'm not going to go fight, but I like that people are dying.
The police are even
The
leaving
reason
now.
we don't want to become American is because our values.
There's
as
no one
Canadians.
here, no one outside. The
We
police are
are
leaving.
proud Canadians.
Everyone's asleep.
And yes, we hope.
Carney has put the whole
we
event to
owe a
sleep.
debt of
Sorry, Carney,
recognition
Chrétien.
to Mr.
I'm
Trump.
They
going to have to
both-
jump off here for a minute.
He has
I'm gonna
united us
charge up
as
my
never
earbud
before.
and then I'll come back on in a little bit.
All right, we'll see you.
Can you handle it for a minute, John?
Sure.
So I want to say thank you to him. And I think I will propose him for the Order of Canada.
Hold on, let's just go watch this here.
Thank you to him as never before. To Mr. Trump. He has united us as never before.
Exactly, they're using their anti-Trump nonsense to try and ride some sort of wave.
So I want to say
Gross.
thank you to him. And I think I will propose him for the Order of Canada.
I wish.
I'm just kidding. Mesdames et messieurs.
This is gross.
Ladies and gentlemen, when I was Prime Minister, I would travel across the world. I went to the UN, to the G7,
this is so
to
boring.
NATO, to the Commonwealth,
this is brutally bad,
to the Francophonie, and to all sorts of international meetings on the 5 continents. When I came back to Canada, each time I would say that the job of being Prime Minister is perhaps the easiest of any country in the world. Canada is the country that works the best, I think. Much better than any other country in the world.
There are millions.
Best country in the world where our entire identity is based off of hating Trump.
All over the world who would like to come and become Canadian citizens. There was a survey not long ago. They were asking the people, where will you want to go if you had to start again your life?
Like those 6,000 illegal construction immigrants they just legalized, Mark Miller, when already construction work is slow, at least in this part of Canada. Last year was very slow.
Because Canada is the land of freedom. Canada is the land of opportunity.
To get into, and then they use it as a launch pad to get to the US.
The land of tolerance. The land
except
of
for people who don't agree with us, except for people who are not vaccinated. Yeah, the rule of law, except Trudeau can do whatever he wants and doesn't get held accountable. It's ridiculous.
Canada will continue to rise through north, strong and free.
All right, finally, we're at the end of this speech, man. This was painful. That was just painful.
Nobody will starve us into submission. Because Canada
we're going to take all the booze off the shelf.
And will remain the best country in the world. Vive le Canada!
They don't like Canada at all, man. 2 months ago, Canada was a genocidal state, and the flag was a genocidal flag. Ripping down the statues, eroding and erasing our history, except for the revisionist version of it. It's just crazy. It's crazy that there's actually people who listen to this and they're like, wow, what a great speech. Brutal. Brutal stuff, man. I can't believe it. Thank goodness it's over. That was so painful. I can't believe it. That was hard to watch. I wonder if Chris is on his way back almost. Chris is walking around somewhere. He's like in a tunnel. I got him on the other side, guys. I got him on the other side. If you're on YouTube, do me a huge favor. Drop a like on the stream. We've got Chris outside the convention center here in Ottawa, the Rogers Centre, Ottawa. He's there, formerly the Shaw Centre, on the ground. He ran into a couple MPs already. Who's next? Who's this guy?
How is everyone doing tonight?
It's the president of the Liberal Party.
Let me ask that one more time.
Yeah, the crowd's...
How are all the Liberals from coast to coast to coast doing?
The crowd was put asleep by Mark Carney. While they're doing this, let's take a quick moment and get a little bit of a break. By the way, if you're wondering what that shirt is in the background, that design and that shirt was made by Sergeant Mike Rood, retired. This is from the Somalia mission that Canada did. It's on the back. On the front, it says the name of his show, the Rood Awakening Tour. If follow Mike, man, he's one of the best people I've ever met in my life. He's a genuine person who cares about others, and he's always helping everyone else. So follow Mike Rood, the Rood Awakening Tour. He's on Facebook. Give him a follow if you haven't, and he's just an amazing guy. So that's his shirt on the back there. He was in Somalia. He was in Afghanistan. He's an amazing guy, man. Like, I have so much respect for him and everyone like him who actually stood up for Canada, right? Not like these liberal people here who... We have Chinese police stations here. We have economic ruination for individuals, right? The inflation's propping things up. All their artificial spending's propping things up. But for people trying to get into the market, the young people coming up, they know how messed up it is. Ask anybody. Ask them. They'll tell you. It's not good.
Our national board that showed up and delivered.
This is ridiculous.
Please stand up, national board members.
Yeah, guys.
Merci aux membres de notre conseil d'administration.
Check on
I'd like to thank the members of the board.
Thank everybody now. That speech from Chrétien put everyone to sleep.
At LPC
put everyone to sleep.
HQ.
When are they announcing Carney? I don't know, Sunshine.
The country,
American generals and a former president start convoy in oil.
Thank you for long hours.
Looks like he's airborne. He is airborne.
Wild. Hard work.
He was airborne.
You have helped deliver.
He's an amazing guy, Sergeant Mike Rood. I think he's also in 3 PPCLI after Airborne folded. He's an amazing man. Give him a follow. The Rood Awakening Tour. 100% amazing man. Best guy. One of the best people I've ever met in my life, hands down. It's not even close.
I also want to thank, of course, our leader, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau.
I can't get over how boring Chrétien was, man. Like, that was just an energy suck. I'm going to put this on for a second, guys. I'm just going to go get something to perk up here. And, we'll be right back.
Talk about the Prime Minister's legacy. He was Prime Minister for more than 10 years.
We'll be right back, everyone.
And he led us to 3 consecutive victories. And he delivered so much for Canadians as well.
Prime Minister Trudeau is leaving us a lasting legacy. Dental care, child care, the Canada Child Benefit, des investissements historiques dans les logements.
Historic investments in affordable housing. Important action to deal with climate change and to protect our environment as well. Huge progress for reconciliation.
Minority rights and LGBTQ2 rights. And Prime Minister, thank you for standing up against bullies and people threatening us to become the 51st state. Prime Minister, thank you for your leadership to our party and to our country. But most of all, thank you for being a friend to everyone in this room and to Canadians everywhere.
I'd also like to thank Mr. Chrétien for being here this evening. What a great speech, as always.
Order of Canada Award, for sure. Before we get to the moment that we have all been waiting for, I also want to take a moment to acknowledge all of our amazing candidates. To Frank, to Chrétien, Mark, Karina, merci pour vos incroyables campagnes.
Thank you for your incredible campaigns.
Sorry about that. We're back.
Merci pour l'inspiration que vous avez donnée à notre...
I'm here too, kind of.
Thank you for inspiring our party and Canadians.
Your staff and volunteers who put their hands up to get involved in this most important race. Everyone should be proud of their hard work.
Oh, man. This is brutal.
In fact, we have welcomed hundreds of thousands of new registered Liberals from across the country.
Well, you disqualified like more than half of them because they were going to vote for rebuttal.
Some of you, and I met a few of you for the very first time. Et le momentum positif n'arrête pas ici. And the positive momentum doesn't stop here. We just recently announced our best ever Q1 for grassroots fundraising in the history of the party.
Yeah, because of the Trump issue. Like, they're riding that Trump, that
still have another 21 days to go.
You back, Chris? Can I put you back on? Okay, Chris is coming back, guys.
My friends, together, we are ready for the year ahead.
Chris, please talk to people.
And
they want to hear from you.
2025,
are you going back to the thing?
All know, is an election
What's
year.
that?
You going back to the thing?
We all need to be ready.
No, there's basically no one there, and my back's spasmed up like crazy.
And chip in where we can. Because only
when they leave
together.
What about when they come out?
For a strong
Canada. Only about 5 people came out. So, I don't know, for people that don't know, there's a breezeway, like a tunnel that attaches from Rideau Center or from the hotel, from the Westin Hotel in. And most of the people were going through there. Justin Trudeau's detail is behind the building. So his SUVs are parked like in an inaccessible area behind the building. So there won't be a chance really to see him. And Mark Carney got taken in that way as well, I believe. So.
Time to announce our new leader.
They're about to announce their new leader.
I'm happy to invite
Earth Base 1. Earth Base 1 says new voters from across the globe. All right, so let's find out who's been coronated. It's a big surprise, everybody. Big surprise. Who won? Who won?
Now have the pleasure to
Who won? I wonder. Everybody in the chat, who do you think won? I wonder who.
And as work to protect the integrity of the process. Beatrice, over to you.
Work to protect the integrity of the process, not letting other people vote for somebody like Rubia Dalla.
A reminder that the winner must receive more than 50% of the points allocated in a ballot to win. The following are the results of the first ballot with 151,899 votes cast.
Yeah, there you go. 151,899 out of like 400,000 people who registered as qualified.
Frank Bayless,
I think there's 29 million eligible voters in
resulting
Canada.
in 1,014
in fourth
allocated
place,
points, representing 3% of the vote.
He gets 3%. Frank Bayless, whoever that is, he's 3%. My goodness, guys.
In third place, Karina Gould with 4,785 votes.
No shocker there.
In 1,100 allocated points.
She got 7,000 votes?
3.2% of the vote.
4,000? I don't know. She got 3% of the vote? Pathetic. She got Karina Gould. She's got 3% of the vote, just like that other guy.
In second place, Chrétien Freeland.
Oh, there we go. Mark Carney's anointed leader.
134 votes.
She got 11,000 votes.
2,729 allocated points.
Yeah, I know.
Representing 8% of the vote.
So,
here he is, the coronated leader of Canada.
The next Prime Minister of Canada.
Selected, not elected.
Selected.
Carney.
And 31,674 votes, resulting in.
He only got 31,000 votes? He's elected the Prime Minister?
That is crazy.
Oh, he got 130. No, he got 131. 131.
Okay.
But that's still really bad.
Yeah. And nobody else got any, basically. One guy got as many votes for Toronto mayor as these other people got.
There we go. The coronation is complete, guys. He's been coronated. Bring him his crown. Bring him his crown, everyone.
Congratulations, everyone. You have a new unelected prime minister. You will soon.
Is the new, I'm making a post, unelected prime minister. What a big surprise.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my other phone out too.
Oh, their feed just went.
Shocking news. There you have it, everyone. Get that tweet out, John. Now's the time. Strike while it's hot. They really don't sound that animated, honestly, for a room that large.
No, man, there's not a lot of people in there, and the momentum's all downhill from here. Now that Carney's name is on it,
I think so too. I think a lot of air is going to come out of the sails there.
Yeah, man.
And I mean, he's not going to be able to be completely insulated forever, right? They're kicking out journalists from his events and all this other stuff, but they won't be able to completely insulate him.
No.
He's going to have to be around the press at some point.
He will.
And start answering for all of his lies and his business dealings and all these other various issues that he won't talk about.
Amis libéraux, veuillez accueillir Cleo Carney.
This is just brutal, man.
Yeah, and it's so ridiculous the way they act. Like, you know, in this last one, they had that video coming out of him walking down, like high-fiving, signing autographs and stuff. Like he's some sort of celebrity. Like it's, like it's a popularity cult. Well, that's what it is, cult of personality.
And good evening.
It looks so bizarre.
Bonsoir.
It is bizarre.
I'm going to try and deliver this
Wait, is that his daughter
with
again?
as much grace and poise as Ella Grace.
Oh, no. Who is that? Is that the daughter of Trudeau? Okay, no. They look the same almost.
I, too, am introducing my father tonight, because I want Canadians to understand what kind of a man he is.
We don't play the children of politicians as their MCs or their no. We don't do that. We don't do it. We don't do it. Look at that's so corny Carney right there. Oh man, we don't do it. I don't do it. I don't know about you. I'm not doing it. Skip it.
Still just warming up. Yeah, I don't. You know, the kids, it's a little weird.
No man. I'm not letting them use their kid as a political prop to protect them from criticism and to delay blows to the enemy.
I didn't even know we had kids.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Really
but now they trotted him out. No, not happening.
People have been asking where his wife is for all this time. I believe his wife is British. Yeah. She has
at their actual. Right, so they're at their actual home, I guess.
Yeah, they don't want to.
Yeah, Nikki, Nikki.
He's really British.
Yeah, Nikki, that is. So I'm going to read some. Can you see these comments, Chris? Do you want to read some of them?
Yeah, I can't see them. Actually, can you take me off for like 1 minute? I'm getting close to it.
Sure.
And then I'll jump back in.
Sure, brother. Thanks. All right, so Chris is off for a minute. We'll just make sure that we don't go back to his feed for a minute. Thank you, everyone, for watching this coverage so far today. It has been a very boring day. Chris was out there. He was asking questions. Of course, he was ignored. He did what he could. He got on the ground there in front of the convention center for this coronation. I have to say, this is one of the most boring political events I've ever watched. Jean Chrétien's speech was extraordinarily boring, and the only substance to it was Trump bad, and that got the crowd riled up. The thing that got the biggest cheer, though, was endless war in Ukraine, right? We can't believe how Mr. Trump has treated the president of Ukraine, and the crowd went crazy, right? Endless war. That's what these people want. They want an endless war in Ukraine with endless death, with the loss of a generation of Ukrainians. When are these people who are cheering for this endless war going to sign up themselves or sign up their family, kid up, and get over to Ukraine and fight this? Because guess what? That's what this is. It's an endless war, and it needs to stop. Too many people have perished in this. It's terrible, and there needs to be some sort of a peace brought at some point before it just keeps escalating and becomes a nuclear war flashpoint, which it already is. You know, it's a tinderbox. Yeah, the vote's over, Marvin. So for anyone just joining, Mark Carney's been he's back. He's back already. Sorry, I didn't know how long. Sorry about that, folks. I didn't know how long the child was going to go on for. And like I said, I'm not letting these politicians use their children as political props. I'm not engaging in that. I'm not playing that game. No.
Prime Minister, I think it's clear we should just skip a generation. Alors, bonsoir tout le monde.
Yeah, so
wow.
Let's have another dynasty. Let's get my kids set up for politics. Gross.
This room is strong. This room is Canada strong.
This room is Canada. It's Canada strong. This guy's got the charisma of a blanket.
Thank you,
Chris,
Cleo.
We're back.
Thank you, Cleo.
With Carney.
And to my wife, Diana, our children, Cleo, Tess, Amelia, and Sasha. Without your support, I wouldn't be standing here.
This is brutal. This is just brutal, guys. Oh, man. If the Liberal leadership race was open, he would have lost.
Without your examples,
they kicked out Rebuttal.
And
too popular, too risky. And it's been proven. It's been proven.
And without
because
your love,
the 400,000 people they bragged about
that I need for what lies ahead.
Yeah, I wouldn't have this. Oh man, that's ominous. The love. It's all about love and feelings for them because facts are not on their side. Because they have ruined this country. That's the fact.
Mr. Chrétien, you still know how to energize the Liberal Party.
You still know how to energize?
Like no one else can
disagree,
do it.
Disagree. I mean, at least the translator's awful, but his speech itself, directly raw, was not energetic at all.
You took courageous and historic decisions. You showed our allies that Canada will always stand up for what is just and fair.
All right, Chris is back.
You're a source of inspiration.
Do we still have anybody who's down there?
Art was down there and Beautiful Canada's down there.
Can you send Marty the link?
Including my father to run as a Liberal candidate in Alberta in the 1980s.
I don't have Messenger.
I can.
Some elections are tougher than others.
Okay, respond to Carney, please. Don't let him go unfact-checked
And
here.
you inspired me.
I'll take care of this.
You inspired me.
We're fact-checking Carney in real time, folks. We're fact-checking him because he's all feelings, no facts.
Your tradition of fiscal responsibility,
Fiscal responsibility!
And international leadership.
Gaslighting is the tradition he's carrying on here. Chris has just disappeared. Gaslighting. What a gaslighting guy. Chief gaslighter of Canada.
Prime Minister Trudeau, my time doesn't permit me to recognize all your accomplishments.
They're not naming them because there aren't any.
You have combined strength and compassion.
It's all nonsense. What they're talking about is not something you could put a finger on. It's nonsense. They're not talking about, oh, you lowered the price of homes, you improved hospital wait times, you opened this many jobs, because that can all be said, oh, no, that's not true.
Challenges that this nation has
it's all ambiguous. Faced. It's all feelery. There's no facts. It's all feelings.
At the same time,
it's all feelings, no facts.
Transformed Canada. You transformed it.
Yeah, he did transform it into a place where people can't afford to break into the housing market.
Hundreds of thousands of kids out of poverty.
This is brutal. This is brutal.
By moving reconciliation forward.
Brutal.
And by defending freedom and democracy here
reconciliation,
and across the world.
Yeah, this is brutal, man.
Monsieur,
we've been working on that for a while, those guys.
Prime Minister, I think I am speaking for everyone here when I thank you for your hard work.
This is just brutal.
As Ella Grace said, your hard work, for your leadership, and for your service to our great country.
Let me try to call Marty here. Carry the show here, Chris.
And I'd also like to thank you, Liberals, for having awarded me the greatest honor possible, which is to serve as your new leader. Thank you.
There's not much more interesting in English without the subtitles.
I'd like to thank the tens of thousands of volunteers across the country who have devoted themselves to rebuilding our country and to giving back hope to our country.
Rebuilding
I
it?
pledge to you.
Why isn't he rebuilding? You guys have been in charge for 10 years.
That I will follow their example. I will work day and night with one purpose, which is to build a stronger Canada for everyone.
Yeah, right.
But
even for maple syrup MAGA?
I will need help.
Something ringing?
I will need a lot of help. And so I'd like to thank Chrétien, Frank, and Karina for your energy and ideas and leadership that you have brought to this campaign.
That is a classic.
And I would like also to thank those ministers who remained in their posts to serve Canada directly during this time of great peril.
And beautiful Canada, as far as I know. Danny might be too. Danny was there when I left.
And to the incredible group of Liberal MPs that we have, you are the voices for your communities, and you are the conscience of our party. Thank you for your service. Now, to give a sense of that service,
these people serve themselves.
I'm going to quote
from
a message
friends.
that I and Chrétien and Karina and Frank, the four of us, received from someone called Bob Zettel. Now, Bob, full disclosure, I know the leader of the opposition's into full disclosure, so I'm going to full disclosure. Full disclosure. Just want to get this on the table.
Except you won't disclose anything about his finances, about what boards he's still on.
I go to Bob's church because he goes there a lot more frequently than I do. Anyways, point is, Bob wrote to the four candidates, and he said, I quote, "Right now, everyone sees the main threat as the Trump tariffs. But the far greater challenge will be, as it always has been, to foster unity and a sense of the common good. There are those who will seek power by dividing us.
Yeah, that's you.
We'll get to that.
Like Trudeau did for 9
What
years.
you're doing.
And we being the people of Canada, we need you, my fellow candidates, myself, to continue in positions of leadership to promote a united Canada. A commitment.
They'd have to keep him off the stage. You have to keep him away from the spotlight.
Yeah, man.
To common good and the
have to keep it to like highly edited
and the
1 minute
rule of
videos.
law throughout the world.
Rule of law. Well, rule of law, SDTC.
Because right
that's
now,
a criminal.
Are being asked to serve.
That's a criminal, like a
We're
massive
all
crime
being
scene.
called to stand
The green
up
slush
for
fund's a
each
massive
other
crime
and
scene.
for the
But the
Canadian
RCMP look the
way
other
of
way
life.
because they seem to become the
let me
Liberal
ask you.
Party police.
Who's ready?
Instead of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, the
Oh,
Liberal
yeah,
Party.
and they've been protecting him before he was even anointed here, and they've been kicking out journalists and regular citizens from his events.
100%.
Just the other day, man.
Yes.
Alexa Lavoie, Monsanto
Yes.
from Rebel, even David Menzies was removed.
Yes,
Karima
Canada.
Saad, independent lawyer and journalist.
Yes, Canada. The Liberal Party is united and strong and ready
Derek
to
Noonan
fight
was
to
removed.
build an even better country.
You have had 10 years. You have delivered nothing except ruin. It's time for change. It's time for you and the Liberals to go. You've been
feel
advisor
like
to Trudeau for 5 years.
Everything in my life
Joke.
has helped prepare me for this moment.
What a joke.
2 months ago, I put up my hand to run for leader because I felt we needed big changes.
You have
Big
been an
changes
advisor to
guided
Trudeau for
by
5
strong
years.
Canadian values.
There's no changes.
The values I
And you don't
learned
even
at the
live in
dinner
Canada.
table from my parents, Bob and Burley, and my 3 siblings, Brenda, Sean, and Brian.
This is such, oh man. This is just.
Values that I learned at the hockey rinks of Edmonton from my
Oh,
coaches,
man.
such as
Nobles love.
Norman Lee.
Brutal stuff. Brutal.
exists.
boring.
We didn't call him that
Yes,
to
they
his
didn't
face.
learn
by the
fair
way,
play.
that was his- My parents were teachers, and they stressed the importance of hard work, of community, and of tolerance. My
if
coaches
you're
were
unvaccinated.
dedicated volunteers who taught me the
Don't tolerate
importance
those
of
people.
teamwork.
Should we even
ambition,
tolerate these people? Should we let them
because
take
it's
space?
Canada, humility. Les bonnes valeurs.
No, almost
The
fell
right
asleep again.
values.
This is just bad, man. This is bad. This is
Canadian
bad. They're
values.
certainly not going to win on a contest of personality.
I
that's for
took
sure.
them with
Well,
me
it's
to
interesting too. So
university,
Pierre had an event today as
and
well.
I
Pierre
kept them close to
Poilievre,
me
and
when I
it seemed
was
like a
called
much
upon to
more
manage
excited
crises
crowd.
here
Let's
in
say.
Canada and
Let's
across
go.
the
We'll take a
world.
look at it and
These
compare it
same
after this
values
is
have
all
guided
done.
me in my
Real
work
quick
to
before we sign
From,
off.
strong
Karima.
economies.
Okay.
And today,
We'll give Karima Sad there a shout out and play some
I
of her
will
stuff, guys. And
use those
we'll
values
have a
again
palate cleanser
as we
after
face
this garbage
most
is
serious
finished.
crisis in a generation.
Know that new threats demand new ideas and a new plan.
Your ideas are not
They
new.
know
You
that
have
new
been
challenges
in
demand
power in
new leadership.
advisory for like
Canadians
half a
want
decade. You're
positive
Trudeau's
leadership
right-hand man.
that will end
You're
division
no change.
and help us build together.
You are the source of the division. You and the Liberal Party have divided for political gain and said, fuck the fallout. Who cares what
And to
happens? We're
respond,
going to extract
my
whatever power
government
from
will
this
put
we
into
can.
action our plan to build a stronger economy, to create new trading relationships with reliable trading partners.
With a reliable trading partner. Like
And to
China.
secure
Like
our
China,
borders.
right? Secure our borders. Yeah, okay. The fentanyl super labs
What,
keep
Claire?
popping up in BC. What are you doing about that?
This
Nothing.
will require change, big change. But I know that Canadians are ready. They've told me so across the country. People want change because they're concerned. They're concerned about the cost of living and the housing crisis as well.
Oh, Pleb's funny.
They're worried for the future of their young, their kids. They're worried about the future of Canada in the face of President Trump's threats and a more divided and dangerous world.
Now, I am a pragmatist above all.
You are
So
a globalist
when I see
above
that
all.
something's not working, I will change it.
Chris, just
So
jump
my
in here, man.
government
Don't let him go
will
on fact check.
immediately eliminate the divisive consumer carbon tax on families and farmers
and they're
small
cheering
and
for it.
businesses.
They're cheering. Yeah, but they're not removing it. They're renaming it to
And
something
we will
else.
stop.
Yeah, of course.
And we will stop the hike in the capital gains tax because we think builders.
This is the
we
guy
think
who
builders
advised
should be
Trudeau on
incentivized
those
for
taxes.
taking risks and rewarded
It's so
when they
crazy. Like,
This is
we're gonna stop
gaslighting.
these things that we did.
This is
We did
gaslighting,
them.
like
they
to
did
another
it.
level. This is like putting up a lighter to the gas fumes coming out of the ground in Alberta.
Canada
Like this is nuclear
needs
gaslighting.
to change.
It's psychological
Change that
abuse,
puts
man.
more money in people's
It's
pockets.
gross. It's gross, and people
Change
fall
that
for this.
makes
Like, what?
our
How
companies
long
more
is your
competitive.
memory? 10 seconds?
Change that
like,
builds
has
the
TikTok
strongest
completely rotted your
economy
brain
in
around?
the G7.
Oh, look, I still have
Now,
somebody says they voted
There
for
is-
Carney. Most did. Yeah, most of the 400,000
There's
people they
someone who's
bragged
trying to do the
about,
opposite.
less than half actually
There's someone
voted in
who's
this
trying
thing
to
because they
weaken
weren't going to
our
vote for
economy.
these people. Yeah, it's you. It's Trudeau. Here we go.
yeah, Donald Trump.
Yeah, Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump
And
bad.
Donald Trump,
This is
Why
this is
bad?
bad.
has
Donald
put,
Trump
as
bad.
the Prime Minister just said,
Donald Trump bad.
unjustified tariffs on what we build, on what we sell, on how
He
we
delayed the
make
tariffs,
a living.
and you guys have left the tariffs
He's attacking
on.
Canadian families, workers, and businesses.
What about what you have
And
done
we
for 10 years,
cannot
you and your
let
dear
him
leader,
succeed.
and who you advised? You guys
And we
have
won't.
brought Canada to where we are today. You're saying we need change. You are the change we need change.
I am proud.
You are the
I
thing
am
we need
proud
change
of the
from.
response of Canadians who are
I'm
making
proud
their
that they fell
voices
into line,
heard
listened to orders,
and their wallets
and
felt.
think with emotions and not with facts. I'm proud of that. I'm proud
I am
of it.
grateful for how our
I'm grateful to
provinces
how they
are
don't have a
stepping
memory
up
longer
to the
than 10
fight.
seconds.
Because when we
Yeah,
are united,
Rob Ford,
we
super liberal in a blue
are
hat.
Canada strong.
Doug Ford. We are Canada, so that they can use these slogans. We are Canada strong, but don't say make Canada great again. Don't say anything like that. We're going to change.
The Canadian,
Don't
the
sloganeer,
Canadian
but we
government
can do it.
has rightly retaliated and is rightly retaliating with our own tariffs that will have maximum impact in the United States and minimum impact here in Canada. And my government will keep our tariffs on until the Americans show us respect.
They continuously disrespect the guy. They have been insulting and attacking the president when he wasn't president for years. Years. I want to talk about respect.
It's okay when they do something, but nobody else is allowed to
And
react to
until
it.
they can join us
Respect
in
our
making
allies.
credible and
Disrespect
reliable
us.
commitments to free and fair trade.
Yeah.
As Christian.
Then why do we have protection on our dairy?
And in the
Yeah,
meantime,
I mean,
we
if
will
that's what we
ensure
want,
that
let's have free
all
trade
the
then, actual
proceeds,
free
all
trade.
the
And
proceeds
let's have it between our
from
provinces as
tariffs
well.
will be
Yeah, man,
used to
that's a big one.
protect our workers.
Protect our workers. Like the construction workers, and they're giving all the jobs, fast tracking a bunch of illegals into
They want
construction
our
jobs.
resources, our water, our land, our country even.
Yeah,
Never. Think about that for a moment. That will destroy our way of life.
Want our resources, our water, our land, our country. Think about it.
Think about it.
If they
want to think about it.
succeeded, they would destroy our way of life.
Yeah, giving
In
money
America,
to far left causes from
healthcare
government
is a
coffers,
big business.
big huge grants.
In
That's
Canada,
our way of life.
it is a right.
So you have the right to die in a hospital waiting room. You
Or
have the
agree.
right to go to an emergency room in rural Ontario and it be closed. You have the right to wait 2 years for a specialist.
America,
You have the right to not ever get a family doctor.
America is a melting pot. Canada is a mosaic. Aux États-Unis,
He's just bringing up all of
In the
these,
US,
all of these stupid slogans. Everything he
differences
does
are
is slogan.
respected
He's
or
sloganeering like
recognized.
crazy. There's no policy to
First
this.
Nations
There's
are
no facts to
recognized.
this. It's all feelings. There's nothing to
And
it.
the French language would never have
I
any
know, and the only thing
rights.
is we're going to immediately undo the damage we've
The
done to
joie de
you over
vivre
10
culture
years.
and the
That's
French
exactly it, right?
language
They
are
pretend
part
like
of our
they pretend like
identity.
It's gross, man. It's just gross. This whole thing is gross.
Else put in the carbon tax or change the capital gains tax or
Look at
And
his
we
face.
must protect that. We must promote that as well.
Look at chicken, man.
We'll never give them up for any trade agreement.
No. Look, Canada. America is not Canada.
No crap.
And Canada never, ever will be part of America in any way, shape, or form.
What do you mean? We're married, basically. We have our trade is the closest in the world. We're very much a part of America. America provides our protection that we don't provide ourselves. They're the reasons. They're the deterrent. They have the Air Force. They have the missiles. They have the radars.
We didn't ask for this fight. We didn't ask for this fight. But Canadians are always ready when someone else drops the gloves.
He's such a faker, man.
So the Americans, they should make no mistake. In trade, as in hockey, Canada will win.
He's a fake, man. Our economy is so small compared to the U.S. We can't hurt them the way they can hurt us. And that's just a fact.
We will win.
We're going to stop selling all our microchips to them.
Yes, we're the world's #1 provider of microchips, according to this economic genius.
We're facing
and also of aluminum.
The greatest crisis of our lifetimes.
And
we have to do
everything's the greatest crisis. Everything's the greatest crisis of our lifetimes. The liberals need a crisis to govern so that they could divide the groups that the crisis creates. And they don't care about the damage that it does to Canada, as long as it gives them a bit of support. And it makes people crazy.
We must place people above money.
Yeah, okay. You start. Disclose your stuff. Disclose all of your conflicts of interest. Place the country above your money. You start. You first.
The strongest, the fairest and the freest country in the world.
The freest country in the world. So respect the charter and stop proroguing Parliament at your will to protect your leader. Donald Trump bad.
Is trying to weaken our economy.
Our economy is already garbage.
Who, if he succeeds,
here we go. Polyev
will weaken our economy.
Yeah, give people a chance to buy a home.
Polyev.
What a joke. Look at these people.
Pierre Polyev.
Responsibility is the worst. It's dangerous.
He is the type of lifelong politician, and I've seen
what are you, a central globalist banker?
A lifelong politician who worships at the altar of the free market, despite never having made a payroll himself.
But you're a central banker.
And now,
and then an investor.
And now, in the face
the bankers calling
of President Trump's threats, Pierre Polyev still refuses to get his security clearance.
What a joke.
Oh, are we still doing this?
At a time when our national security is under threat as has never been before. At a time of immense economic insecurity.
Exactly. So, why were you getting briefings when you were a private citizen? How does that work?
Also, how are we getting RCMP?
Monsieur Poilievre.
Because it was a coronation. They knew it. It
shutting
was written
down
ahead
of
of time.
CBC.
Yeah, shut it down because look at how it brainwashes people.
Disinformation. And
CBC is disinformation. What foreign interference? Talk about the Chinese police station or the Chinese infiltration of your government.
He insults our mayors and ignores the First Nations when it's time to build.
He insults our mayors. When it's time to build, it's time to build. You had 10 years to build. You built sweet F all.
When democracy and human rights are in danger across the world.
It's not our job. We're not the global police.
We
can't even take care of ourselves.
Our planet to burn.
Our planet to burn. Dude, this is pure hysteria.
Our planet burn.
This is pure hysteria and emotional manipulation on a level that should be illegal. Yes, you are ideology. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Each other. It's an ideology that also represents a fundamental misunderstanding of how the economy works.
Yes, you have a fundamental misunderstanding. You tried to take credit for Jim Flaherty's work. Harper called you out on it, by the way.
I know.
This guy is disgusting.
I know how the world works, and I know how it can be made to work better for all of us. And that knowledge is especially useful now in the service of Canadians when we must build a new economy and create new trading relationships.
This should be illegal.
Let me tell you something else that we know.
When you have people as brainwashers there, this is so crazy.
We know that markets don't have values. People do.
Here we go.
And we know as Liberals that it's our job to make markets, to make the economy work for all Canadians. These are the most powerful tool we've ever invented. They can find solutions to our greatest problems. And when the private sector, when the markets are governed well,
insane,
they deliver great jobs and stronger growth faster than anything.
XAI, John Chrétien's remarkable speech in 91, XAI
are
is
also
something.
indifferent to human suffering, and they are blind to our greatest needs. So when they're not governed well, or not at all, they will deliver enormous wealth for the lucky few and hard times for the rest. And in this crisis, we must help those who are hit hardest by the American tariffs while we build our strength here at home. That's the right thing to do. That's the fair thing to do. That is the Canadian thing to do. That is what makes us strong.
He has no personality at all. None.
Sloganeering.
So Donald Trump thinks he can weaken us with his plan to divide and conquer. Pierre Poilievre's plan will leave us divided and ready to be.
You are everything that's happened to us up until this point.
Because a person who worships at the altar of Donald Trump will kneel before him, not stand up to him.
You're not going to stand up to anyone. You're not tall enough to. Chris, you're muted there.
Pierre Poilievre's slogans are not solutions. His anger is in action. His division is in strength.
Your slogans, elbows up.
Division won't win a trade war.
You are nothing but division.
Pay the rent or the mortgage.
You are
division
exactly.
Won't bring down the
then
price
we
of
should not
groceries.
elect the Liberals.
Division
because that all happened under your leadership, under the Liberal Party. That all happened under you guys. What
this is where negative politics and division and anger takes us.
These people are abusive. Yeah, you are the politicians of anger and division. That's all you are.
They're weary of each other. We can't allow such a situation to occur here in Canada.
You are. That's literally how you get your power. That's literally what you do.
The Americans
divide people.
Are increasingly
they
divided.
love it when people are at each other, man.
And
they
this
love it.
will weaken them. And we will win this fight if we are united and strong.
Oh, man, he's so boring. And he's such a gaslighter.
Yes.
It's gross. It's just gross.
We might disagree over policy.
You don't have any
policy. We might disagree over hockey.
It's not hockey. Hockey's not as important. Hockey's not as important as buying groceries or paying rent.
It's a free country, after all.
No, it's not.
But when it comes to Canada, we're all on the same side. Let's choose to be strong. Canada strong.
Not with you.
Now,
you guys are weak.
I've learned a few things from long experience in crises. And the first is that plan beats no plan.
Yeah.
And you need
every
to
time in crisis that you use, your party
you
uses to gain more power at the expense of Canadian cohesion.
Change Donald
That's
Trump.
you. You're manipulative. You're very manipulative.
Donald
Trump.
But we have to understand what we can and we must change.
Never ends. Yeah, we must change government and get away from you losers.
In our own house.
And we can. And because we're masters in our own home, we can control our economic destiny with a plan that puts more money in your pockets. A plan that will ensure your government spends less so Canada can invest more. A plan that builds millions
around the
of
world
homes.
giving away billions upon billions of dollars.
Makes us an energy superpower in both clean and conventional energy.
Yeah, more green slush funds.
A plan that creates new trade corridors with reliable partners.
Yeah, with like China, right?
that creates one Canadian economy.
Natural gas to Europe too, and then Europe wouldn't have to buy it from Russia.
Because in Canada, we are stronger when we're united. We can give ourselves far more than Donald Trump can.
We could give ourselves more than Donald Trump. Their whole platform is Donald Trump, man. Donald Trump.
But it will.
What a bunch of losers.
It will take extraordinary efforts.
They've got nothing. They're empty.
It won't be business as usual.
The tank is empty.
We will have to do things we haven't imagined before at speeds we didn't think possible. We will do it. We will do it for the common good, so that everyone.
Does this guy even have a Canadian
Everyone
address?
benefits.
Does this guy even live here in Canada? Chris? Does he even live in Canada? Does he even live in Canada?
I have no idea. No idea what it is.
It's not because I'm an economist. It's because I care about people. That's why I'm a liberal. That's why we are liberals.
Yeah, we care about people. No, you don't. No, you don't. You care about yourselves. You care about your party. That's it. You care about power.
It's
you care
clear
about people.
that the value of a strong economy starts with the workers who have good, well-paying jobs today and who have better futures for them and for today's youth. We know as liberals that we can't redistribute what we don't have.
Yeah, we have to have it first before we can take it from people.
That we can't be strong abroad if we're weak at home. We also know
this just goes in circles and it never ends. This is like actual
build
suffering.
A better future.
This, to summarize, this is the guy who's advised Trudeau for 5 years, acting like he's a change of
We need a strong economy.
He's not. He's the exact same thing.
But when we're fighting for a
had.
strong economy, we're fighting for good Canadian health care for everyone. We are fighting for strong support for our seniors who built this country.
There you go.
We are fighting.
Our seniors people.
We are fighting for child care for young families that they put in place. We are fighting for dental care and pharma care for everyone who needs it. We are fighting for rights. We are fighting for a strong economy so we can create a more sustainable
Justice
world
Mosley found
for
your
children
government
and grandchildren.
to have acted ultra vires when it came to the invocation of martial law in Canada and the extrajudicial freezing of bank accounts to violate people's charter rights. That was not saved by Section 1. You don't give a fuck about the charter or people's rights. You do what you want. And usually the courts bend to your will, but once in a while they do the right thing and they hold you accountable.
I know.
Once in a while.
I know that these are dark days.
Oh my God. It's
Dark
crisis
days
after
brought
crisis
on
for
by
these
a
people.
country we can no longer trust.
Can't trust you.
We
You're not
are
trustable.
getting
You're a
over the shock.
globalist. You don't care about Canada.
But let us never forget the lessons. We have to look after ourselves.
We're still trading with the U.S.
And we
It's still our
have to
biggest
look
trading
out
partner.
for each other.
Then build ports,
We
build
need to
pipelines that
pull
you've
together.
blocked and dragged your feet on.
In the tough days ahead.
You can swap me out for Johnny.
This is just so much gaslighting. Dude.
And
Is he down
so,
there?
to those families
Is he down
watching
there,
this
Chris?
evening in Fort
Yeah,
Smith,
I see that, yeah.
in Edmonton,
He is?
Yeah.
across
Well, we'll
every
bring him in.
community
We're going to bring him
Canada.
in, but don't go anywhere.
I promise you this. Together,
Oh, Chris. Oh, Johnny's
we
here.
can and
okay.
we will get through this crisis.
All right, Johnny.
We
Oh, you're not down at the event?
We can and we will come out stronger.
Is there anyone
than
who is down
ever.
there?
And we will, because Canada
Is there anyone who can
is
get back
built
down there?
on the strength of its people. From
For the,
our
for
mines
the
to our ports,
exiting portion.
from our logging
I've
roads
gotta
to
go
our
in,
city
like,
streets.
very soon. So,
We're strongest
okay.
when we're
Johnny Rowe,
united,
can you go horizontal?
when
Do you have
we're
a
one
stick
economy, not
that
13,
you can put your thing on?
when we can cheer for different teams.
We can
and
cheer for
still be
different
on
teams.
one
Everything's
team when
hockey
it
to these
counts.
people.
When we come together,
Hockey's all that they care about.
when we come together, we build things that last because we are Canada strong.
Yeah, there we go.
Vive
More
la
slogans.
Canada.
This guy's awful, dude. Oh. All right, Johnny Rowe, we need some fresh energy here. Oh, hold on here. Johnny Rowe's coming in to eviscerate this guy, guys.
We got 2 knees.
All right, Johnny Rowe's coming in to eviscerate that. Johnny, were you watching that?
There's two of me, John.
Yeah, there is. Give me a second. We've got to do stuff here. Which one am I going to change? I'll change this one to whoever this is here. Is that Johnny? No, that's not Johnny. Give it a second. Oh, now we've got Johnny. Oh, now we've only got Johnny. Okay, so there's been a. Okay, Johnny. Only Johnny.
Double Johnny. That's twice the normal amount of Johnny for the same price.
All right, Johnny. What did you think about that speech?
Well, I will tell you, I am amazed at the hypocrisy, the doublespeak, the terrible ignoring of reality. And these people are so detached from the real world. It's just mind-boggling. And no, you know, this is a
You need to
common
back
trait
up
that
just a little bit there, Johnny, from the camera.
sorry.
To the right a little there. No, just right there is fine. It's very trippy, everyone. We're gonna fix this. Just give me 10 seconds here. Go ahead,
How
Johnny.
about this?
Continue.
Oh, okay. I haven't been doing my own camera work. It's okay. But no, it's just another example of the detachment between our ruling class and the people. You know, these people are living in a dream world, in a fantasy world, and they're completely oblivious. And you know, it's a terrible thing because that obliviousness is self-imposed. These people are deliberately, you know, ignorant of
Here, we're
the
just
facts.
Yes, they are.
And yeah, they are. Their detachment leads to a serious case of indifference. And you know, we've got a real problem with elitism in our country. And there is a hardcore central group of people who are wannabes. They desperately cling to the idea that they are better than everyone else.
Hold on, Mark Miller speaking.
Oh, good. Let's hear him.
Disgusting.
We watched him walk in the door. We yelled at him as he walked in the door.
You know, he brings with him the experience of working in the private sector, the public sector, not only in Canada, but across the world, in Britain. Special representative for the United Nations. His CV speaks for itself. It's essentially unequaled in Canada. This is his first experience as a politician, so he still has a learning curve. And as happy as we are tonight, the real work starts tomorrow.
Exactly. You're going to be held accountable. Let's not listen to any more of that. We've listened to lots of liberals, Johnny. Go ahead and eviscerate them on this.
These people are such absolute hypocrites. You know, we saw Mark as he walked in the door. We've seen him many times on the street, and we know his record. His record is absolutely atrocious, and he's a longtime high-level liar. And these people have, you know, been disqualified from leadership because of their failures for all the things that they've done. You know, the world is crumbling around us. Canadian society is circling the drain, and the reason is because of the policies of these people, and they completely deny it. They act as if nothing has happened. They act as if everything is the same as it always was. They act as if that everyone is buying into their lies and that no one disagrees with them and no one sees through them. And this is just not the case. The vast majority of the Canadian population see right through them, and they see that they are dangerously unqualified. They're because they've forfeited their claim to any kind of elitism, because they are certainly not intellectually capable or morally capable of doing the right thing. They've proven it by their record, because they are they're absolute failures. Okay, and so you can measure society however you want to measure it. Okay, you can go to the courthouse, you can go to the hospital, you can go to the schoolhouse, you can go to the jailhouse, you can go to the military base, you can go to the farm, you can go to the factory, you can go any place in Canadian society, and you are going to see ridiculous malfunction. You're going to see underneath that fantastic corruption, right? And what you're going to see is all of the suffering that goes along with that. We built up an infrastructure of lies. Yes, we can't get a train from Windsor to Quebec City, but we can certainly manufacture a giant infrastructure of lies that all of these hardcore insiders who their main specialty is to deny reality, and these are the kinds of people who their only response to questions or facts or anything else is to yell and scream. They operate on a third grade level, and they are imbeciles, and they are absolutely disqualified from leadership because of their lack of moral character. Now, these are all the people that have been in charge for the last 3-4 years, okay? 5 years, all of those people since the beginning of the COVID, all of those people have been disqualified. But now we've got this new guy who apparently, you know, he wasn't around for all that stuff, but we know that he has been a key, not just advisor, but a commander in the situation. You know, the politicians, there's usually a separation. You know, normally we have a layer of politicians between the bankers and the people, and so the bankers tell the politicians what to do, and then the politicians tell the people what to do, right? And so now with Carney being installed, we're going to become more efficient because we just separate out the politicians. We make the bankers and the politicians going to be the same guy, and this guy has no more authority or legitimacy than any other banker. What qualifies him? He has absolutely no contact with the people. He is so detached, right? So it's not just that, you know, he's Irish and British and you know, English, and he doesn't live in Canada, all of that stuff, but he's not connected to the people that he represents, that he's supposed to be in charge of.
What happened to Johnny there? We just lost. We just lost Johnny for a second there. Well, we have some issues with 1 second, guys. We're just having a little bit of issues here. Give me a second. Sorry about that. We're just having some issues. Mr. Johnny Rose disconnected there. I'm working on this. So we've got Chris back. Hey, Chris. Hold on. I had to unmute you for a second. Come say something. Yeah, your audio is a little messed up here. All right, well, it looks like the situation has deteriorated with the feedback loop going on in the chat there. Sorry about that. So Johnny was really making a good point, I think, where that Mark Carney is pretending to be something that he's not, but now we're having the bankers becoming the politicians. It was a very elucidating speech. This has been going on for a really long time. This is quite a long show. I still have Chris in the back. Chris, for some reason, I'm having really bad feedback loop with you. So if there's maybe a way that we can somehow eliminate that feedback loop and get you back into the game, that'd be really good. I don't know how we might be able to do that, but if there's a way, I would appreciate doing it. There we go. Say something, Chris.
It was working, yeah.
Yeah, no, restart your audio here. Let's see if we can fix that for you. Say something there. Say something.
Check.
Say something.
Easy here.
Oh, do you have your headset on?
No, it died.
Okay, that's the issue. Yeah, you got to put that back on. You're without the headset there. It's not very. It's not the greatest without that headset. It's actually not good at all. So, do you have a second headset you could put on? Okay, well, this is a good reminder for us folks that we need to invest in technology. This was really good. We threw this together quite late. It went really well. I'm proud of this stream. I think it was good. There was some hiccups there at the start. If you were there for that, it was funny. And I think this went good. I'm really happy with it, and I look forward to doing more coverage like this in the future, where we had Chris on the ground right there outside the convention center. Of course, all the Liberals were running scared, as they do, and they love to. They are the king of nuclear level gas lighting. It's crazy what they do with that gas lighting. It's insane. They're like, "Don't sloganeer, Pierre. It's nothing but slogans," and then they're whipping out the slogans. It's just brutal. So let's watch a couple of videos that Chris had made here right before. So we'll go in real quick here and see what they're saying on CPAC. Let's see.
And with that, I'm happy to have with us our political strategist too.
Doesn't look very interesting. So they're the paneling now. We're going to take a quick look at some stuff, guys, to try and palate cleanse, because I know that this was a long watch, and it was honestly so boring and also it's hard to listen to them lie like this. They lie with ease. It's very natural for them when they're talking about these things. And you notice how every time they were talking about the accomplishments, right? They didn't bring it up. They were like, well, let's not go into all the great things Trudeau has done. Because once they start getting into it, to the nitty gritty, to the housing prices, to the jobs, to people's wages, the picture is very bleak for us in Canada, right? Compared to what they act like they did. It's very convenient for them to be able to point at Trump and blame all of our problems on him, yet it's been them who is in power for 10 years, leading our government here in Canada, causing this economic downturn and the loss of purchasing power for individuals and putting us into the situation we find ourselves in. It was them who made the division spread like wildfire during COVID, and now with this fake Team Canada nonsense, elbows up. Elbows up, by the way, elbowing someone in hockey is a penalty. You can't use your elbows. It's not something, it's not a legal maneuver. I'm not a big sports fan, but I know that much. So what are they saying? Fight dirty? Like, what is that? Everything they say doesn't make sense. They lie, they gaslight, and then Carney going around saying, oh, let's have all this change. Meanwhile, he was Trudeau's economic advisor for the last 5 years during COVID, during all that perilous. And they love it when they have these crises. They love it when they can divide it. They're like, let's stop the division. Let's spread the love, 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 love. We don't need love. We need leadership. Okay. And all this time when they're doing this to us, when they're dividing us for their political advantage, and as a result causing damage to Canadian society, they don't care. As long as they have a couple of crazy fanatics going wild for them, that's what they want. They don't want anything else. They don't care if it costs them. They've lost the last two elections. They've lost the popular vote both times. They lost to Trudeau lost the popular vote to Aaron O'Toole, and then Trudeau lost the popular vote to Andrew Scheer. They lost both times. They're definitely going to lose the popular vote to Pierre Poilievre. That's a given. Now, will that be enough to make Poilievre form government? Honestly, I hope so. Like, because this is intolerable. These people are liars, and they lie with such an ease that is just not okay. It's not okay. And let's not talk about Trudeau's track record, right? Like, man, oh man, this is gross. So let's dive into something. Chris, let's see if you sound a bit better. Say something. Oh man, I don't know why it echoes like that. It's really weird that it echoes like that, but we need to invest. We need to get those field mics going, but we had you there, and Chris did catch a few MPs before we were started the program. So here is Mark Miller, who CPAC just had on as he walked into the event. Let's watch that together, everybody. Chris will be in the corner. He can't really say anything because it doesn't sound great, but he can give you facial reactions. Oh, I'm on the wrong, I'm looking at studio mode on OBS here. There we go.
The way he ignores her, won't even look her in the eye.
What's happening to the video here? It's having a bit of trouble loading. Alexa Lavoie getting out there trying to do her best to actually do journalism. Everybody else who's there is just clapping like a seal, giving these people undeserved like admiration. Like, the journalists aren't supposed to do that. You're not supposed to admire people as a journalist. You're supposed to ask them questions, right? That's the job of the journalists. It's crazy, man. I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm trying to get this working here, but it's having trouble buffering. Okay, I think I got it now. Sorry about that delay, folks. We'll get it back there. Oh, it's buffering again. Here's Mark Miller, Minister of Immigration.
The way he ignores her, won't even look her in the eye. Walks right by.
I have to give Alexa Lavoie of The Rebel a lot of credit.
Government-approved media only.
A lot of credit there. She's trying, man. She's out there.
Do you get used to this ever? Yeah.
She's out there attempting to do journalism, which is a service to the people of Canada, where Mark Miller is largely responsible for a lot of the economic problems that people are facing in our country right now. So let's go ahead and watch another video. Again, she's trying. These guys are so conceited and full of themselves. It's crazy. They just believe themselves to be better than everyone else. Oh, here we go. Dominic LeBlanc, Trudeau's babysitter. There he goes. Coming to babysit Trudeau on his last day.
Third strike. Not a single person will even acknowledge any of the media out here.
Good work, though. Good work, Alexa. And you know what? She does do good work. She's gotten them a few times really well. So impressive. She's impressive, and she's determined, and she's good at it. She's tenacious. I like that. I like her tenacity. It's really good. We have Johnny Rowe back. So, Chris, let's see if we can hear you real quick. So That's not the worst in the world. Say something. Okay. So what do you think? Yeah, what do you think about everything there, Chris?
Yeah, man, you and Johnny was nailing it there. You guys are much more eloquent than me. I was falling asleep with the boringness of the thing, and I was completely triggered half the time from the gaslighting. It's quite painful. It's honestly a psychological attack, man. I never understood gaslighting fully, or like, you know, you hear of it and like women, I'm like, I was gaslit, whatever. But then until this government, and I started experiencing it like firsthand from this government, I didn't know what real gaslighting felt like.
The echo is really, really bad.
Yeah, okay, well, just take Johnny.
Yeah, I think we'll swap you out for Johnny. But anything else? Listen, we'll tolerate what you've sat here the whole time. We'll tolerate your closing remarks to people here tonight. What do you feel about the future, and how do you feel about all of this?
Yeah, I mean, not surprised by anything that happened tonight. You know, Trudeau, it's his last official day, but I don't think he'll be anywhere tomorrow except right here in Ottawa, being in regular old Trudeau. We don't know how things are going to go forward. We don't know if we're going to have an election. Parliament's still shut down. So, you know, we knew this was coming. The work continues.
The work continues. All right, Johnny Rowe, we're going to put you in the main guest slot. Chris, thank you for joining us and for all your excellent work tonight. You did great, and we're going to see you soon. Take care.
Thanks, everyone. Casey,
Chris. All right. Thanks again, Chris, for all your awesome coverage tonight here on Scene. And it's unfortunate, again, we need to work on our setups here. It needs to more charging, maybe a backup pair of headsets to Bluetooth with. Johnny Rowe has rejoined us, so we're going to get a bit more opinions from Johnny Rowe. He will join us very shortly here as we figure this out. I'm going to load him in as soon as I can. We're going to get Johnny Rowe loaded in here. All right. Looks like we got Johnny. All right, Johnny, tell everybody in simple layman terms what you think about what... Oh, we just lost him again. I had him for like 10 seconds and he's gone. And he's gone. It's like the money in the bank. He was sitting there all nice at his table and he just disappeared. What happened? Oh, my goodness. All right. So we watched Dominic LeBlanc. Oh, wait. Hold on. I think he's back again. Okay. All right. Jeez Louise, it's the ghost of Johnny Rowe. All right. Johnny, wave your hand around. Oh, we have him.
You've got me. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Johnny. All right. Okay, so what did you think of that whole thing, man? What did you think of that?
I thought the whole thing was kind of a, you know, it would be absurd if it wasn't obscene. And it is a terrible display, an obscenity of this kind of the abuse of our system, and we've seen this on you know, so many levels of authority. You know, in Ottawa we've got overlap. There's so many jurisdictions. How many different jurisdictions are there? You know, levels of authority. You know, and they're all of them is the answer. And so we've seen the abuse of power, the abuse of the system, and it's a selective use of it. You know, it's not an arbitrary thing. It's all designed to perpetuate the power base that has their grip on power. And so they'll do anything, right, in order to stay in power. And I mean anything. And that level of corruption has gotten so bad that, you know, it's up to this level where we have a prime minister like that, right? And it's, you know, this is an abuse of our system. You know, when you use these procedural ways and technical loopholes and
you keep going, I'll be right back.
Sure, various kinds of you know, reinterpretations of you know, various rules and ways of doing things. It becomes quite dangerous, and there's they will do whatever is possible to do, and the result of that, of course, is that you know, we end up with a bunch of people who are so detached. You know, the system is designed so that the will of the people can be expressed through this representation and through this system, this parliamentary system, and it works like a charm The only thing that it's not really good at is protecting itself against corruption. The system is not the problem. The problem is that we have corrupt people in the system. And so there's no system that can withstand liars and cheaters and sophists and, ditched. Am I still on? I think I got ditched. But nonetheless, it's quite an issue. We're going to look and see. I think I'm on.
Oh, sorry about that. All right, guys. Sorry, I had to take care of an emergency. My apologies. I still wanted to do one last thing, but that was a little bit of a. I guess Johnny fell out of the thing. I had to go respond to this situation, so I do apologize for leaving the stream a little bit blank there. My apologies again. There's a lot of moving pieces here tonight, guys. We all have lives, we all have jobs, we all have families, we all have things we got to do, and a lot of times, that other stuff comes first, right? So, apologies for letting you sit there a little bit. Johnny Rowe, I don't know why he kept disconnecting, but I do want to give these guys like an opportunity to speak a little bit more to you. I don't know why it's not letting you in. Every time you leave the room, Johnny, it has to redo everything. So it has to reload your file, and it's not an automatic process. So if there's no producer here and you get dropped, you leave the room, then you can't come back into the room without a manual intervention. Like I said, I had to attend an emergency, so I do apologize. So we'll have Johnny's back.
part of the broadcasting system.
He's part of. I think we did really well for the fact that everything was thrown together on a shoestring.
Dude,
and
I'm impressed. It's fucking
yeah.
great, and this is going to be great for the future. This is going to be perfect goodness, right? And
I think so.
the system is really going to be great.
It is.
And no, there's a lot of great work to be done in the next little while. This, you know,
I wish I had this set up for 3 people. I know, guys, Chris is still backstage. He's got that terrible echo on him, and that's a lot to deal with. I have to get ready for like work any minute now, basically.
Okay, we're about to close the show. Okay, so bring him up so we can bring him up so we can see Daisy, so they can say goodbye to Daisy.
I promise to give people a palate cleanser, and you know, we're not just fanboys over here, but like, let's be honest here. We've had 2 political rallies today, and there was Pierre Poilievre had one, and then the Liberals had one. And honestly, I think Pierre's was way more energetic and had way more going on there than anything we saw today. It was way better. Matter of fact is it's way better. And let's just watch some of that organic energy and compare it to the forced and canned sloganeering and gaslighting we just watched. And again, this coming from a central banker who's ingratiated themselves with politics. Like you said, they're removing the middleman, right? They're just moving right directly in to the highest political offices. And
that's right.
So they're no longer just knocking on the politician's door. They're just taking over the office. So we have that going on. And simultaneously, we have him telling us that he's an outsider. We have him telling us that he did things during the financial crisis that Stephen Harper has rebuked him and came out and said, no, you didn't do that. That was the late, great Jim Flaherty who did that. So he's taking credit for things that he doesn't have credit for. And he's saying, oh, we're not division, we're all love. Meanwhile, casting division over Pierre Poilievre, saying, oh, he's Trump. He's not going to stand up to Trump. He's not going to take that liquor that we paid for off the shelf, right? He's not going to do those big brave things for the camera. It's a joke. It's a joke. And then he's like, we need the one thing that gets me the most, everybody, is him saying that he's changed when literally he's been advising Trudeau through all of this for 5 years. There's no change here. No change at all.
That's right. And that change, it doesn't matter. He's still responsible. You know, even though he was not part of the government technically, he was such a high-level advisor that he's responsible for the mess that we're in right now. And, you know, they cannot dodge the responsibility.
I got the sound backwards.
They're trying to...
Yeah, man, we're in a mess here in this country for sure, man.
Yes, we are in a mess, and the mess was made by government policy, and the people who designed and implemented that policy are still in power, and they're centralizing that power. It's concentrating down into fewer and fewer hands, and they are completely unaccountable to the people.
They are.
And now we have a government in Canada that was not a single vote was cast. Not ever. No one has ever cast a single vote. The public. Right? You know, a leadership contest in a fucking political party does not count as a mandate to lead, right? This guy has no,
he doesn't.
You
There's
know,
no mandate. There's no mandate for him to do anything.
Business. He's got no business in this job, and they've got no business using the system to create this situation in the first place. And so we're gonna. I'm not sure that it's possible for them to call an election before Parliament comes back. Like, I don't know if Mark Carney, you know, if he's smart, then he'll come out and say, the very first minute we're able to, we're going to call an election. And then you got to do that. If they don't call an election immediately, then I'm afraid that, you know, the resistance is only going to grow. You know, the worst things they do, you know, it just makes our side stronger. You know, more and more people agree with us because more and more people are hurt.
Karima Saad was at the Pierre Poilievre rally today. Karima Saad, follow her work. She's a great independent journalist and lawyer, I'd like to show one of these things. And I want to listen, if you want to see all these clips, go on her page there, Karima Saad at Karima Rules on X. She's amazing. But this one here seems really interesting. Anti-Poilievre protesters with handmade signs right here stand across the street from Convention Center hosting Conservative Party rally. Meanwhile, prospective attendees continue pouring into the building. Not everyone will fit into the event. So this is awesome. Like, look at the crowd here and compare that to whatever you witnessed today outside the Rogers Center. Tell me, let's watch this, Johnny, and then tell me your thoughts on this crowd versus the crowd you saw. We're going to watch the whole thing. This is Karima Rules. Guys, I'm accidentally, inadvertently covering her watermark, but this is 100% the property of Karima Sad. This is her video, and we thank her for her very hard and diligent work that she does all the time in the protest circuit, showing the good, the bad, and the ugly. And she takes a heck of a lot of abuse for it, and she's fearless. She's true and through what a journalist is. So let's watch this video that she filmed. This is Karima Rules on X. Once again, I just inadvertently happened to be over the watermark. You know what? I'll just do this, and we'll let that watermark come through there. But look at this right here. Hey, Pierre, why don't you get security clearance? She says. Look at this. Look at these people. Resist hatred. These people are hatred. Proud to be woke. Welcome, traitor. PP is Trump light. These people are pathetic.
First day on the megaphone.
Look at that huge friggin' crowd there. That's a big crowd.
Look at them.
All right,
yeah,
so
and they're all packed.
What do you
Yes.
think of that? Let's get it over here. So we've watched that. Let's freeze frame on one of these things, and you could elucidate a little bit on what you're seeing. Let's look at this gentleman right here, PP Pumpkin's puppet. What do you think about that one?
Yeah, give me those two there. Give me these guys. Yeah, that's the guy. So yeah, all of these people, they're all these are the people that we see. I have a lot of experience with these people. You know, maybe I don't know, 10,000 hours, something in the
maybe
neighborhood.
10,000 hours.
And I will tell you that what struck me in that video was the siren going. You know, that's a siren from a megaphone, right? And so I've got a little bit of experience with the megaphone. And when you get these megaphones, you can switch the button and it'll play the siren, and then you switch the button back and you can talk into it, right? And you'll notice that all of these dummies, they always play the siren. They never talk through the megaphone. And the reason is because they don't have anything to say. Yes, they don't have anything to say. And even if they did have something to say, they're not any good at saying it, right? And so they're terrible, terrible, terrible at the work, right? So I know something about standing on the street, protesting and signs and flags and making noise and stuff like that. These people are weak. They don't know what they're doing. Now, first off, they wear out. Okay, so they get paid by the hour, not by the mission. We get paid by the mission, right? And so these people, they're.
Oh, there goes Johnny again. We lost him. John, we'll load him in back. There he is.
The central theme with all of
He's reconnected somehow.
Is that they do as they're told. And someone told them to be there. Yes. And so they all showed up because someone told them, hey, you've got to be there. And you know that these are the people, I hate to say it, but anybody who's wearing a mask, okay, at a protest, right? A COVID mask at a protest, that reveals their character without any confusion. There's no confusion about what these people's ideology is. Because when you're wearing a mask, it means that you are ultra ideological, right?
Yeah, for sure.
It means that you are a fanatic, yes? And so fanaticism is a major weakness, right? And these people don't understand. So that's my analysis of these people.
Perfect.
It's the same people we deal with all the time.
Let's watch one more video of these guys outside because they're funny.
I'm losing you again.
Here's another. We're going to watch another video. Oh, there's Johnny's ghosted us. He's just disappeared. All right, let's watch. They love that siren, like Johnny said there. I'm just trying to put this in here. How can we get this? Oh, let's watch it. Okay, wow. I'm blown away by that, to be honest with you. And you know what? Did Mark Carney share a kiss with his wife on stage like Pierre Poilievre did with Anita? Carney blocked me from entry to his rally, so maybe someone who attended can advise, Karima asks on X. And then we can see that the Conservative Party leader Pierre Poilievre transitions seamlessly and shamelessly from kissing to waving to sloganeering. All right. Again, this footage, Karima Sad on X. Great stuff. Thank you, Karima, for your amazing work that you do all the time. Totally down the center. It's great stuff. Here's Pleb, and he's got a funny take here that I think's right. We've touched on this a few times during the broadcast, but it's important to reiterate this. I don't know if we're going to get Johnny or anybody back, to be honest with you. I don't think so. I think we're basically done. So let's finish. Pleb's got some good points here. He says only 149,000 Canadians. Let's see. I think I might actually have something to read this a bit better. No, that doesn't really work as much as I thought it would. No, is it this? Is it this? Is it this one here? Only 149,000 Canadians in a country of 40 million got to choose the new prime minister tonight. Only Liberals were allowed to vote. What we witnessed tonight is a disgrace to democracy. It's kind of hard to argue with that, honestly. All right, this gentleman here says, "Bring it home rally in London for Pierre Poilievre." And we look at this, and we can see this is actually a pretty decent sized crowd here. This is good. Okay, right there. That's good, man. That's the energy is a lot better. Here we go, Pleb quoting Karima there. And then this one here, the actual just quick look of the rally. Nice. Oh, they're playing the Trues. That's awesome. Highway Heroes. Took me a second to recognize it. Oh yeah, speaking of, again, Mike Rood of the Rude Awakening Tour gave me that beautiful shirt on the back, Op Deliverance, Somalia. He was airborne, and then Free PPCLI, if I'm correct, on the later one, definitely he was airborne. And some sharp-eyed viewers spotted that earlier. So if you're not following the Rude Awakening Tour, definitely go do that, man. This guy's amazing. I love Mike Rood. Just give him some love. Give Mike Rood some love. He's an amazing person. He's always putting everyone else first. He is the very best of Canada. He's put everyone else first, and I can't even imagine what this guy's been through in his life, right? This is a guy who's deployed. This is a Canadian through and through, man. He's as down to earth and generous as they come, and I can't sing his praise enough. Mike Rood, thank you so much for everything you do for everybody, brother. And follow him, Rude Awakening Tour on Facebook and Instagram. Give him a follow. Trudeau cried during his speech. Is anyone surprised? I don't think so. So I guess that's kind of it, guys. That was the idea of the palate cleanser, to give you a little bit of a perspective on which each side was offering everyone. We had Chris Dacey here earlier today. We had Johnny Rowe come in for bits and pieces with that high-level takedown, that high-level analysis that he can do. He's a very intelligent guy, Johnny. He's got a very large vocabulary, and he knows how to use it. Again, it went pretty smoothly overall for everything that's happened, honestly. Really good. Don't know who this is. This is awesome. So thank you everyone for joining. There's going to be more of these in the future, more video style, less live stream focused, but stay tuned for that. There's going to be a lot of stuff happening. Mark Carney's been coronated tonight. We've covered that. We had Chris there on the ground, other people. Of course, the Liberals, mum's the word. They're hiding from accountability in Parliament. They've suspended Parliament. The federal court has allowed them to suspend Parliament, has sided with Trudeau, and said that the applicants, the challengers, the Justice Center for Constitutional Freedom, was unable to basically prove how the government exceeded their powers unwritten and written, and basically give the government carte blanche to prorogue for any purpose, as long as, there's the government lawyers, I think, provided 2 limitations to prorogation, that Parliament has to say once a year, and that no Parliament can last longer than 5 years. This is based on the Constitution. So prorogue for 364 days a year, according to government lawyers, that's legal. Doesn't matter the reason. The Prime Minister can do it. The court did agree that prorogation was subject to review by the courts, where the federal government was arguing that no, prorogation is not even subject to court review. The court didn't agree with that part, but the court did say that the applicants, the JCCF and their client that they represent, I forget the actual name of the individual, I believe it's 2 gentlemen from Nova Scotia, maybe. I'm sorry, I don't have that off the top of my head, but they did not prove how Trudeau had exceeded unwritten or written rules. And of course, yeah, that's where we are as a country. Suspend democracy as long as you want. Go on American media, as many MPs on the left do pretty frequently every other day, rail about America on American media. The hypocrisy, the gaslighting, more of the same. It's what we've been dealing with in Canada for a long time now. Thanks again for watching. If you have watched on YouTube, you enjoyed it, please like the stream, share it with your friends, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much, everybody. Until next time, The Right Blend, and I was joined tonight by Chris Dacey and Johnny Rowe. Let me just go ahead and figure out how to. There we go. Right blend. Out.